Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Dropped Frames. We're 2 weeks away for Christmas. We're post-Game Awards, but we're just in time for whatever the hell this is.
Are we getting into the Christmas spirit, everybody? Are we getting into the Christmas spirit?
You know that person got banned, right?
They did?
Yeah.
One of them.
Oh, shit. Well, oh, man. Just kidding, Twitch. Just kidding. Just joking. Just joke. Those jokes, all jokes. I mean, I had pasties on. Don't worry. I had pasties on.
You were covered. Absolutely. You have a tube top on. We just couldn't see it.
Yeah. They all do.
Yeah.
It's
they
all.
all do.
It's all.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think there were two. And for those who don't know what we're talking about, that was This is not just Zeke rattling his boobs at us.
Yes, it is.
There was a
forward.
new.
There's nothing.
Not that I need a reason.
As Twitch does with its evolving sexual meta, which it's been doing for the last 5 good years now.
Porn finds a way. It really does.
Porn finds a way, man. The new one is to put your camera right above the aureola. I can't say the word. Aureolas of your nipples, and then put the camera right there and be basically naked from that up. So, and then you basically would accept donations and go yay, and things would bounce and move around, but nothing was ever technically shown. Although I think the person that was banned actually may have had a slip.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure, but I think
that's the
actually
rumor I heard
crossed the forbidden zone.
Yeah,
the unsaid forbidden zone.
That makes sense.
You can. I have no problem with that because tube tops exist and are a thing. But I think you should wear one if you're gonna do that whole I'm joking, I'm naked, blah blah blah. Wear a tube top or a strapless bra or something.
Yeah.
I like the guy in chat. That's disgusting. I need to see evidence of the incident immediately to know how disgusted I am.
That's how I reacted too.
Yeah,
that's how I reacted.
So I'm not sure.
Yeah. That's how all my chat reacts to that kind of shit.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I need to know where not to go. Give me the link.
I don't believe the media need proof of these accusations.
Yeah.
It's 2023.
Well, no matter what rules you set, as far as nudity or sexually explicit content, whatever. People are gonna
porn finds a way
until they're gonna find the line.
That is the door. That is the door that
time.
Twitch has opened. And all of this, and it will always be an issue for Twitch, as they have purposefully and very judiciously opened the door for sexual content on Twitch. In fact, some very astute Twitch watchers actually found that they have changed. They changed the wording of the documents to basically say that they will now be labeling sexual content instead of labeling it properly, instead of it actually being forbidden as it was for a long time. So
now
that was
you say
was actually going around. Yes,
you said they opened the door. What do you mean by that, Co? I'm not sure. If I missed something.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I mean, basically, Twitch used to have very strict policies on sexual content and nudity on Twitch. That it used to just not exist. It used to not be a thing ever. And if anyone tried to make it a thing, they usually were called out, and it was a constant battle with them. But in the last 3 to 5 years in particular, they basically just let that go. I mean, the hot tub stuff was the first kind of foot in the door, and the fact that just went on for, they made it a category is a good way to say it. So, it's that kind of thing. They basically decided at some point, instead of trying to keep that door closed, to keep the platform unsexualized, that they were going to say, cool, we're just going to sexualize with some boundaries that won't get us, removed from the, federal standards, essentially. Yeah. And it's kind of where we are these days. And because of that, we will always see these metas just continually popping up, changing. It's something new every 2 weeks that pops up, and some catch on and some don't. But yeah, and the worst thing that happens is they take a few day vacation and they're back doing the next meta.
That's what they do. And that's the tough thing about it, I'm sure, for the people who are trying to set down the rules or see what's what. Everybody's going to be complaining on one side or the other, and sometimes it's okay because it's art. you know, and sometimes like no,
Yeah.
I'm saying actual art, like body painting and that kind of stuff. Like sometimes it's actual like,
And then you have the
it's
people
amazingly good art.
Yeah,
and
who have
sometimes
no
it's
interest
just,
in the art that use it to
Yeah.
show off their body, which then invalidates a lot of the entire premise of the whole thing. And it's just it's just a big old mess. It's a big old mess. So
yeah, like it has to be opinion based, because it's like you could look at that and go like, you could look at like someone doing body painting and go like, that is way too sexual. I cannot. And then you look at like the statue of David and you're like, oh, that's fine. That's Michelangelo. That's art. You know, his penis is out, but it's still like, you can look at it because it's art. It's fine.
Sure. Yep. Well, now that we've all put our chats into a spiral for the next 3
Yep.
hours,
good luck, moderators.
let's move on and not be bothered by
Any
of this at all. Yeah, whatsoever.
The last thing I will say about it is, and I think I speak for a lot of us kind of old timers, you just get to a point when, and it's unfortunate because I see a lot of people on Twitter a lot of times that are very impassioned about this, and it's just kind of like they're going to get to this point eventually too, where you just realize like there's no point in fighting it, there's no point in yelling at anyone about it, like, you know.
Yeah, I just don't care.
Like that's a thing.
I
like,
truly do not care about it.
The platform decided to do it. It's how it's going to be. It's not going to change. Like, no matter how much anyone yells or screams, like the voices were 10 times louder years ago. And if anything, it's just gotten a lot more prevalent.
Yeah.
So like, just let it go. Realize that there's still plenty of places where you're not going to find that stuff, and you just keep moving on.
Yeah. Just
Apathy!
So we're clear. Like,
Yeah.
my standpoint, like, I don't have a dog in the fight either. Like I only mention it because it's funny and you can joke about it.
I look at it.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's just funny. It's just funny, and you know, it's funny seeing people try to push the boundaries and see how far they can go, and it's just, you know, it's just where we are.
Yeah.
But I'll
That's
tell you
fine
this,
about
like if it's the same thing, like when music was introduced, it's like, oh God, we're just gonna allow everything from now on. Like,
Dude, I remember that. Yeah.
I remember the first time they streamed like a musical, like what was it? Was it like South by Southwest or something like that?
It was Ultra. It was Ultra.
Ultra,
in
that's
Miami.
right. It was Ultra.
Yeah.
Yep. They streamed Ultra, and everybody's like, "This is video games, not music."
I loved. I was
And,
there. And I was viewer
yeah.
number one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was sick. I'm sad that they can't do it anymore. I don't know why that stopped. I think it might have been like a licensing thing that Twitch didn't want to pay for anymore. Because now I think they only stream it on YouTube. But yeah, I wish more Ultra.
But I'll tell you, like I'm not like I don't have a dog in the fight because they're not going to steal my viewers. Like people who watch me, like
I was gonna say, also, you don't have boobs, which, you know,
that's what I'm saying.
you don't have a dog at all.
They come to my channel for the middle-aged hotness.
Yeah.
Middle-aged, receding hairline, yelly, screamy.
To be fair,
Oh.
you're pretty borderline.
I just realized
with the
what I am,
sexual
and I got sad.
attractive. No, you're pretty borderline with that.
This is
For
our
your,
demographic.
for your demographic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of mid-40s guys and gals that have a hard time, Zeke, not tuning in when you're live.
That's
You
true.
know, keep pulling your shenanigans like you do.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, before we move forward, I don't know if we've promoted this at all. The vote's been up for about 2 weeks. I know people voting for Game of the Years and conversation around Game of the Years is all the rage right now. If you want to continue the hashtag conversation, go to dfgoty.com. You can vote. We're doing our Game of the Year show. What is it? The 7th of January? Yes. 7th of January is when our show will be done. We have our Game of the Year community vote that Barry's had up for a couple weeks. I think most of the submissions are there already, but if not, it's just fill in so you can do what you need to. And if there's any issues, make sure to just always at Barry Carline in any of our chats and let him know.
Really, for any issue, doesn't even have to be about.
It doesn't even have to be about this. Really, if you're having issues with your plumbing, if you need someone to tell you a recipe for dinner,
If you're having issues with how sexually attractive Zeke is on the platform,
any of them, just at
Really, any of
Barry Carline in chat.
That last one, you can just you can at me or just send an email to zeke3tv@gmail.com if you want to discuss things.
Yeah. Exactly.
things.
Exactly. Anyways, dfgoty.com. You can just log in with your Twitch account and get to voting. And then those, of course, will be revealed on our Game of the Year show on January 7th. Also, is it Barry? Am I saying that right? Is it Barry Carlion or Barely Carleone? Is he a member of the family?
It's a bad
You've known him like 3 years, 4 years now.
It's just Barry to me.
For the record, I got his name wrong. I thought it was Carlion for the longest time. As far as I understand, it's Carlion.
Carlion. So I was.
Barry
Was I saying
Carlion.
it?
I think you were accurate.
Oh, I was accurate.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
now I'm going to screw myself.
I said Carleone.
You've introduced this different way to say it into my.
Yes. Medicalione.
Yeah.
Barry, are you fucking kidding me? It's Carlion. That's how I said it for years, and then someone corrected me, and I'm like, oh, it's Carlion.
Yep.
I am not kidding. Like seriously, for the first few years when I knew him, I was saying it correct.
Carlion.
Awesome.
And I've been saying it wrong ever since because someone corrected me. I'm like, oh, is it? Okay.
Just call him Barry. Just call him Barry.
He really doesn't care at all. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I literally called him the wrong thing to his face for years. And he never one time corrected me. And I don't remember what it was. At one point, he was just like, "Oh, by the way, it's actually like not what you've been calling me for 4 years now."
Right.
Oh,
Dude, so like multiple, like 80, 90 month subs are like, I never asked you, am I pronouncing that right? Like, no, you pronounced it wrong for 8, 9 years. And I'm like, oh man, they're like, no, I've gotten used to it. I like it now. I'm like,
it's actually a Zekai.
hey, so don't change. All right, I won't.
Yeah. He also just said in chat, you call that voting, chat. You're only doing 11 votes a second. And those are rookie numbers compared to the Game Awards.
Numbers.
Yeah, I think Game Awards hit. The last number I saw was 200. Also, for anyone that's joining us that's new from our Game Awards coverage, Barry's like our dev. He's like the dev of all of this. He helps us out on all of our streams, so that's why we're referencing him so much, because he kind of controls everything. And at any moment, he could shut all of this down.
Whole thing, whole shebang.
And I'm not kidding. Yeah, he has that power. He has that power.
He has the power to shut down like a solid 15 plus channels on Twitch at a whim.
Yep, or start them up on a whim.
That's why we pay him protection money. Yeah.
It's true. It's true. He takes every month a little bit off the top, is what he says.
Just a little off the top.
And then hits us with the money. Yeah, it's kind of fucked. Anyways, I have to ask,
pretty messed up.
How are the two of you doing after Jeff Keighley ruined video games this past week? How are you guys doing? Okay.
Is that the sentiment going around that he ruined video games?
Man,
it's been I've read a lot of takes.
I talked about this on stream a little bit, and I gotta say, like, I absolutely had criticism on the show.
Yeah.
I would love for every award to have somebody come up and accept it. I would love for every person to have at least a 2-minute time, and then after that, do not ever goddamn think that it's okay to have those strings play people off.
Right.
Like, no. Find a different, more polite way to do it. But man, some people have been so, like, this is a free show that he puts on through his own blood, sweat, and tears. And they're like, this is possibly the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Please wrap it up. How about you wrap it up, Jeff? Huh?
Man, it's wild out there.
But no, it's like, it's really, there's a whole lot of, I think the word is entitlement. They don't understand.
It's weird.
There would not be anything in December if he didn't put on the show. So it's like, cool, have some feedback, want it to be less commercial, have it be more about the awards. That's all valid. I agree with it. But like some of the folks that are just like, I saw somebody who is rather prevalent in our industry say, what a waste of 3.5 hours. And it's like, bro, they announced like over 10 games. There was Sam Lake put on a music performance. There were multiple orchestral performances. Like, sure, problems. Commercialism, bad, right? Okay, that's cool. But damn, dude, just turn the channel. Like, if it's not for you, that's fine. But I mean, they're not insulting your person with this.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree with you. The criticism of like playing people off and all that shit shouldn't be done. I agree with all of that type of the conversation. But like, that's it. There's not like move forward. The fact that I feel like so many of these people haven't been paying attention for 10 years, where like they see it for the first time, they're like, wait, this is just a giant ad. and then they're like shocked Pikachu face, and they go to Twitter and just like
What's
lose their
even
minds.
crazier is compared to previous Game Award shows. I mean, it was like just as much or even a little less in some cases than some of the previous shows of this one. Like I remember one year when I was like, yeah, that felt like a whole, like that whole thing just felt like an ad. I think I even tweeted it at one point where I was like, this is too much. If there's a line, this is too much. Like that's kind of cool. But
I
then,
think the reason why it was so pronounced is because of the cutoffs for the speeches. Like it wouldn't have been as noticeable if they weren't cutting off the speed, like Kratos. What's his name? I forget his name.
Christopher Judge.
There you go, Christopher Judge. Like they didn't cut him off, and it became a joke. It was funny, yada yada yada. Like that's like it was less noticeable because they could say whatever they wanted for as long as they wanted, apparently.
Right.
So yeah, I think that didn't help their case.
Yeah.
But also, I think it should be like that anyways. I think it should be like the percentages need to be shifted because I saw like a pie chart. It was like 18% awards, and then whatever the other number is to make 100%.
It was
ads.
I think it was like an hour and 36 minutes of ads, and then there was like 11 minutes of acceptance speeches or something like that in a 3-hour show. Is what
going back to the criticism. The fact that some awards didn't have acceptance, like the best, what was it? The best indie game, like Sea of Stars won best indie game. And they didn't get a chance to go up and claim
that
their award.
hurt me personally.
That was that kind of stuff needs to change. Like if you're going to call yourself the Game Awards, you need to be a bit more about the awards. And I think that's the valid criticism. Like and 100% like that. But I mean the rest of it was cool. I mean I think we had more world premieres than I would have guessed, especially since he tempered it. The performances were awesome. Like
definitely highlighted the show.
Very entertaining. Yeah, for sure. A lot of very good entertainment. The other performance by the creepy,
the throat singing,
hell singer. Oh god, that was awesome.
Yeah,
I never would have.
Is that the first time you've heard Hylon?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
It's the first time I've ever seen him too. The guy was playing a boat, Zeke.
Motherfucker was playing a boat. Yeah.
They had flute guy, freaking quad wielding flutes. Like that was awesome. That stuff was great. So yeah,
dude.
But no, I will say, I there's very few sounds that will actually get like I felt chemicals in my brain rearranging and making and flooding my head with a red emotion of anger whenever I would hear those playoff strings. Like what was even worse is by the end of the show, I'd be sitting there watching, like barely listening to the actual speech, being like, "Do not play those. Just waiting. Just don't let them talk. Just don't play them. Just don't play. Just don't play."
The thing is,
it was bad. It was bad, dude.
Person. Like the rest of the last year, like no one remembers how long the other speeches were because they were fine. That's what most people would do.
Yeah.
But like Jesus Christ, give them a minute.
Yeah.
The worst part of it.
Minute at least.
The worst part
preferably.
of it. The playoff strings weren't even the music after the award. Like it wasn't like the playoff strings turned up and then it kept doing those into the next award. The playoff strings would start. And then the second the person would stop streaming, they would immediately stop talking. They'd immediately disappear and like dubstep would start playing. And it's like, could you be more just like,
It was really, as someone who watches like award show from other forms of media, there really is like an art to playing the cutoff music because the Oscars, for example, it starts very early, but it's very quiet. And it never actually like makes its
It sounds like
presence
background
known.
music.
Yeah,
not
it
playoff
sounds kind
music.
of inspirational.
Yes.
And so I felt like this show is just like, all right, we're just going to unmute the audio at half volume and drown them out.
So instead of this like slowly building thing in the background, it felt more like you were watching an award and then all of a sudden this would just start happening.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, and you just got angry. You just got angry. Like it was just this abrupt, quick reminder that like the show is not about this. So yeah. Oh man,
They learned their lesson, I'm sure.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that this. I mean, now granted, in the past, if there's anything the game show has learned, we've seen, they do make changes based on feedback. We've seen it before, and we'll see it again. So my hope is next year this is a very needed kind of like maybe a reset a bit. Like let's really make this about the awards. Every major award gets some time. Let's give them all 2 minutes minimum if they want it. and no playoff music. Like, have Jeff walk onto the stage and put his arm around them. Hey, buddy, it's so great you got this. Time to wrap it up, huh? Great job. Like, just something a little more positive, something a little more, uppity.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah, just not those damn strings.
Strings were loud. The strings were loud.
Present. That's a good word. A little more present.
The other, I wouldn't say it's controversy, but I found it interesting, I guess is how I'll introduce the thing that I'm about to introduce. So Christopher Judge got a bunch of shit for his comment about the COD single player story from developers on COD this year.
I loved it.
It was very. Their comment was like, why would they deal with that all year long? Why would a peer of the industry do it at such a large stage? And I'm kind of the inverse of like, a peer should do that. Like that's like, if you can't laugh at yourself in that situation, then but I guess that's a personal thing, right? Like it depends on your mindset.
This dude that made the joke took shit for an entire year because of something he did.
Yeah.
And he came
and what
back
did he do?
all smiles and just
Exactly.
fucking doing his thing off his shoulder. Like, come on, man. You're COD, dude. You can take a joke. And also you got more money than God, so
well, not the individual devs. Let me. It wasn't like Call of Duty as a brand was upset.
The proper response. The proper response to him saying that from a COD perspective is, "Oh yeah, it was short."
Yeah.
I mean, he was right. He said what the entire gaming industry has been saying. He just made a joke out of it for fun. A little bit of ribbon, not a huge deal.
Yeah, that's all
it
was.
Like, come on, man. That's fine, dude. It's 100% okay. It's funny because it's true.
Yeah. Definitely.
And also, like, there's
take on that.
There is really, like, sometimes the no bad publicity is a real thing. Like, it kind of made me want to see, like, how short is it? Like,
yeah.
Honestly, it made
hours.
me like a little bit, just a tiny bit. I'm not gonna play it, but it made me like a tiny bit more intrigued. And I can't imagine like someone who was on the fence, like, oh, I got to see how short it is, and so I can bitch about it. I bet he made some sales.
Sure, yeah. I mean, the people that already have the people that will buy COD have probably already bought COD for this year.
Sure,
the annual purchase, but yeah, that was a weird thing. One of the other things that I saw as a result of the Game Awards this morning on the worldwide iTunes sales chart, at number 10 was The Poets. They broke the worldwide sales chart on their latest greatest hits album because I would assume because of the show, which is kind of wild to think.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know I don't know much about the music industry, but I think like royalty fees on all that shit is awful. So I don't think that's probably like 10 cents from iTunes or something stupid. But it's still really 15. Cool. Yeah, it's still really cool.
Come on, man.
They're getting some recognition. It was good. It was good. I've seen so many people that saw that performance and were just like, what the hell is this game about? Like, what? I got to see what this is. And then they come back later after playing like the first hour of it and they're just like, what? That game is terrifying. Why is that? When does the musical happen?
Sam Lake looked so happy dancing around on stage. Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
He was like twirling and
yeah, he was all over the place. I've seen that GIF everywhere now. It's fantastic.
I know, dude.
Yeah.
I wonder how many people like tuned in the Game Awards and were like, man, that Sam Lake guy, he does a great American accent in the game.
He does. Sam Lake stays winning. He definitely stays winning. We're gonna have Jesse on the show.
What's next from them, man?
Oh, same. I want to see Control too. Maybe.
Oh yeah.
Maybe we'll see some stuff next year about it. I was talking with Jesse Cox, who was there, and he was gonna try to be on this show, but he had a filming, I think this morning or maybe all this afternoon, so he couldn't be on.
Filming.
Yeah, Jesse does the filmings. He does the filmings. He was talking with Sam though, apparently after the show, and he said that he's actually like the chillest person in like an eerie way. Like he's too chill is how he described it, and that he loved it. So now Now I have a goal for next year. I would love to talk to Too Chill Sam Lake on this very show. So
Are you going to try to get him on?
I'm going to try to make it happen. I don't know what I'll talk to him about in terms of upcoming stuff.
God, what could we not talk to him about?
Well, no. I'm saying like in terms of him wanting to come on to like advertise something. If it's a Control 2 or if he just wants to come on and talk. I think all three of us would be enamored with him being on the show. So maybe it's just to hang out.
Well, and we're old enough to know, to like have played Max Payne when it came out. Like
Yeah.
I remember playing it when it came out, and it was I could talk to him about that shit for at least an hour.
Yeah. So Sam Lake, if you ever hear this, I'll be in touch somehow, some way, maybe through Jesse Cox, who I think might be the link.
Apparently, you guys are friends now, so we're gonna
to Mr. Lake. So we'll see how
Jesse
that goes.
Cox, friend.
Yeah.
No, so he is now the date of Ben Starr.
It was the date.
And
He's
friend
kind
is
of
the
a
friend.
gateway to the stars, really, if you
He
think
is,
about
he really
it.
is. That's
Yeah.
right. Now we got to get Ben Starr on the show through his date.
Yeah. He told a lot of stories. He was saying so he sat behind Todd Howard at the show.
Periphery of Todd Howard. We'll just add that to his titles, I guess.
Yeah, and the one thing he said is he was like he got to see Todd Howard like be a human is how he phrased it for a second and not be like a PR mouthpiece. And so during the Poets of the Fall performance, apparently Todd was like singing along, bouncing his legs, was like super into it. Like couldn't get enough.
They
of
added
it.
that to his programming. That is awesome.
Yeah, he got an update this year. I'm super excited
for him.
Yeah, it's great. Everyone gets a firmware update sometimes. It's fantastic. Anyways, that's the Game Awards. We our VOD is up. Our coverage is up on it. Any like thoughts on any of the game announcements after days now to sit on it to think about it? I went back. I've watched.
Do we have
the
a
show.
list?
I can
wanna
get
do like
one.
a-
Yeah.
If we want to do a quick down the list, yeah.
Yeah, I can get one. I've watched the show 3 times now. Once with us, and then twice. I rewatched it with other watch-alongs after the fact. So I've seen a good bit of it. But for me, I think like Barry just sent me one. I think the biggest thing that I'm most excited for is definitely Monster Hunter. In terms of the announcements, Blade also looks cool. I'm kind of, it was fun watching our reaction to that, I don't know if you went back and watched it, but we have like the perfect dichotomy of man as we respond to Arcane Leon's new game, me knowing what it is and you not knowing, and then Blade by Marvel up on the screen, me with like the biggest grin, and you just kind of looking around. It's yeah, it was good. I liked it. Oh, I guess Barry or Twitch just slide effed. But yeah, are you still feeling that's what? Where are you at with Blade? I'll find the full announcement list.
Okay, so I really like Arcane, and also, by the way, okay, so this is a discussion that is not really a discussion, but for some reason it's being made a discussion. And let's be clear. There are different ways that companies section themselves off, both geographically and as a company. I fundamentally understand that Arcane Austin is not Arcane Leon. I get that, but this idea that they're different studios when they have the same people running them at the top is ludicrous. Like that you can't keep people can't. Oh, it's not Arcane Austin. Don't worry about it. It's a different Arcane. No, it's still Arcane. It's still Arcane, and that's how it is with all studios. So
Sure.
I mean, it's like there's this weird thing where like I actually got some people that were very frustrated, like sending me PMs like, no, it's gonna be nothing like Redfall. It's not. It's like no, it very well could be. It very well could be. So don't. Yeah. Anyway, so. That's all. Just throwing that out there. But anyway, here, Blade. Okay, so we did just get Redfall. Yes, this is from a different organization, but still, the leadership and guidance is going to be the same. Arcane does some things really well, and I don't feel like what they did in Redfall was well. I do like that that it looks like Blade is going to be single player, so maybe that will let them
They said
focus
as
a bit
much,
more
yeah.
on that journey, which is good. I'm not against the Marvel thing. In fact, if anything, to be honest, Blade's kind of one of my favorite Marvel characters. I think he's badass. I love his whole thing. His whole backstory's cool. He's just kind of a badass. That could work really well. The thing that got me a little less excited is, again, I really love what Arcane does in terms of kind of like, it's not, immersive sim is such a weird genre term to use, but I love the idea of like, deep character customization and stuff. And I don't know how much we're really going to get out of that, out of a game based on a Marvel character. Like how many, like how really you can kind of tailor it to your own play experiences. Like take a game like Prey or something. And also, we'll see, like, I really wonder what the gameplay of this is going to look like. Blade is a very not generally like sneak around in the darkness kind of guy. He's more of a like show up in their face and just shoot everybody and awesome moves and stuff. Is it going to be cinematic and try to make Blade look badass, or is it going to be about more him in the shadows and sneaking around and stabbing people without them knowing he was there?
That'd be kind of
so
cool.
Like Dishonored.
Yeah.
Are they going to give you the option? Are we basically going to get a Dishonored version of Blade? Just like in Dishonored, you could go right into the fight and not do anything, or you could sneak around. And, like that part got me more excited when I started thinking, where it's like, yeah, this could be Dishonored Blade. Like maybe they're just going to give him a lot of like options and ways to engage with stuff. Maybe we'll see some of that kind of Arcane come back that we kind of really were moving away from in Redfall. And, more of that kind of interesting, hey, here's an environment with like 5 to 15 different ways to do it. You don't need to do it one way. And maybe they can kind of focus on that experience more. But yeah, the short of it is, I wasn't super jazzed when I first saw it, but I'm really hoping they kind of go back to their roots and what I feel kind of makes Arcane special with this lens of Blade. And that could be awesome. That could be really awesome. Like that could be freaking great. I feel totally different about Blade than I did about before I played Redfall. Because even just watching the Redfall stuff, you're like, this is not like this is like just watching the Redfall stuff, like everything kind of evaporated in terms of what that game was.
Yeah.
And I searched every nook and cranny hoping to find some of that, and it's really just not there. So yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic. Cautiously optimistic for Blade.
I think
that's my long-winded explanation.
For me, I've just personally have blinders on for Redfall. Like people say Redfall, and I'm like, wait, what's that? Like I got Men in Blacked. I Men in Blacked myself.
You got flashy things.
Yeah, that's right.
With Redfall, so it's like, oh, it's Arcane. They made like Dishonored and some
Prey,
and they made a lot. They did another. I don't know what that other. They did some cool games though. They never had a stinker. That studio's doing great. So yeah, that might be where a lot of people are as well.
That's how I kind of want to feel about it. I wish I could.
Yeah. I
need my bad memory to like be more selective.
I think I've like disassociated Redfall from Arcane, and it's more like a Bethesda Xbox game. And I think a lot of people have done that actually.
Yeah.
And it's probably why you got so much pushback when you're like, oh, it's still Arcane, like it's still the same dev, and people are like, no, it's different. It was like mandated. It was a Bethesda Xbox wanted a games as a service type deal. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
but yeah, it should be cool. Marvel.
Which, I mean, to be real, maybe there'll be a postmortem someday where that turns out to be the case.
Maybe, yeah.
Where Arcane was like forced to make a multiplayer game. They knew they couldn't do all their cool normal stuff in it, so they just had to put something together.
That's what I believe. That's my head logic.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Yeah. They were hit by a tsunami during it. Tornado as well, earthquakes.
Now
they worked through all of them.
Now we're in the mind of a Twitter user, and it's very good here because
Harvey was like, "No, we can't release this," and Microsoft and Phil cackled and said, "But you must.
We can just make things up," and that
Harvey
becomes
was like,
our
"No,
reality.
but my company, my brand."
It's great. It's 10 out of 10.
Yep. There you go.
I do have a list of all the announcements. Holy shit, there's a lot of announcements.
Copium OD, that's right. Copium OD.
Yeah. I guess announcements for 2025. You guys can stop me if you want to say anything, but just rattling them off. Pony Island 2 Panda Circus, usual June Big Walk, and Monster Hunter Wilds. Zeke, is Pony Island 1 worth going back and playing for folks that have never heard of
I
it.
wanted to ask that too.
I probably will. Pony Island was one of those weird ones that, like, you know, I didn't know anything about it, and someone was just like, it's, you know, for an indie day, and I played it, and it was one of those first like subversive game experiences where you're just like, there's a game within a game, and it's dark, and that's like what happened when I played Pony Island. Like, I am going to go back and play it probably next year. I think I might do it in April for my 10th anniversary thing. But
Nice.
it definitely surprised me because I was like, what? Pony Island, huh? All right. You know, I gave it a chance and I was like, okay, it's this. And then it was something completely else. And I was like, oh shit. And it opened up opened me up to all kinds of different games that are like that, like Doki Doki and like the There Is No Game, like, you know, all those ones that are like something, they appear as something, Frog Fractions, but they are actually like something else.
Right.
And I loved it. And it was like, you never forget your first. And I think that was like probably my first.
Cool. Definitely go back and play it. Game announcements without dates. A lot of these, the name has not like saturated my brain enough to recall exactly what it was yet, because we've only seen a trailer and an announcement. So some of these I don't even know what the hell they are. The Rise of the Golden Idol, Arknight's Infield, what is the Matchless Kung Fu?
Oh, that was that weird game that looked like it was like it almost looked like a mobile game, but there was like building and a tower, and there were just people fighting, and we were like, what the hell is this?
Huh. Okay.
I'm not sure what I think it's a mobile game.
Google says
No, it's not black. It's not black and white. I think that's one of the it was like.
Google says it is a open world sandbox RPG game based on the I always fuck this up. The wuxia background. This was the one that we all thought looked like another game that I'm blanking.
Kenshi
Like
2?
a Neo?
Kenshin. It was the one that you thought looked
that looks like Kenshi 2.
Yeah, Kenshin 2.
Yeah, I thought it was a mobile game, but if it's like an open world,
yeah, it's on Steam.
Thing,
It's in early access, I believe.
It entered Steam August 29th, so it's been on there for a minute. The Matchless Kung Fu.
The match. Has anyone played it?
Fu. Yeah,
Matchless
very
Kung Fu
positive
right
with 3,500 views, 3,500 user ratings. Yeah.
Oh, all the screenshots are in like Chinese. Is it in English? Even the videos are in Chinese.
The one I'm watching is in I'm
watching the ones on
English.
the Steam page.
I don't know why I can't say that. Yeah, mine's in English.
The second one's in Chinese. I'm sorry. I was watching the second one, not the first one.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks crazy because it looks like there's a bunch of different gameplay loops. At one point, it looks like there's insult fighting, like from frickin' Monkey Island. Like, I don't know, dude. It's wild. It looks crazy. Has anyone in chat played this game? The name of the game is The Matchless Kung Fu.
Serratic says it's janky and niche, but pretty fun. Is what pretty good fun is what
I mean, that kind of defines Kenshi in a lot of ways.
Sure, yeah.
It's a mix of Kenshi and a deck builder / RPG. I own it, and it's pretty good and chill.
Okay.
Cool. Interesting.
What else we got? Harmonium, the musical, Exodus, Kamori, No Rest for the Wicked. I think we were all pretty into No Rest for the Wicked.
Yes.
I think that looked really cool. Streets of Rage remake, Shinobi remake, Jet Set Radio remake,
Oh,
Crazy
the
Taxi
whole Saga
remake,
thing, dude.
Golden Axe remake. Yeah,
That's
that
so
was the
cool,
Sega
man.
thing.
That's so cool. I don't know if we talked about this a little bit. By the way, they actually said the reason they can do all those is because of the success of the current franchises, and one of the ones they pinged was Yakuza. And I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah, man.
Like,
I
love that they're leaning into that, dude.
Well, they kind of like
It's great.
had 7 games that they could just resell, right? Because they got so popular with Yakuza 0. And then people just went back and bought all those old games to get caught up. So
and they're making new ones.
Yeah, they're making new ones, right?
They've got the Yakuza franchise is booming. It is
storied.
Stonks are good. Stonks are good.
Yeah.
Invest in Yakuza, chat.
Ko, you named this when we were watching it, so I'm gonna emulate what you said. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero.
Sparking Zero.
Sparking
Yes.
Zero.
Sparking. It's it looks it's Dragon Ball.
Yeah, more Dragon Ball. Casting of Frank Stone, OD, which of course is the. You guys want to spend like 10 minutes talking about OD, and then we'll keep everyone else really. Okay, all right, let's move forward. Let's move past it.
I think
listen,
that's cool.
if OD is anything like PT,
We're done.
I'm totally in.
Yeah.
I am ready. And I saw
If
a
it's-
comparison. Didn't
door.
Hideo come out of the door that was from PT? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. The starting door in PT when you're in like the garage or whatever of the house was the door that him and Jordan Peele walked out of.
If Kojima is working on a cinematic horror experience, I am very much there for that. He kept talking about movies and wanting to like emulate more movies and stuff. And if there is a medium that can deliver horror well, it is movies. So
Yeah.
it's like, if you want to bring some of that into a game and then, put your crazy Kojima take on it, dude, like let's do it. Let's do it.
While
The
I
collaboration with Peele was kind of wild. Welcome.
Yeah, he's got a
wild.
bunch of
That was-
collabs with this.
Yeah, he's got a
said
bunch
it's
of-
like the Avengers of horror is how he said
Yeah.
it. So
Kinda
But
cool,
he's
man.
got. I mean, Jordan Peele's got. He's got a horror pedigree with Nope and.
totally.
Oh yeah.
Us.
Completely.
What, is that the name of it? The one
I
with the
think-
masks,
yeah, I think
or
that's
the?
called
Excuse
Us.
me. Whatever. I just see the mask and the scissors.
Yeah.
Like I see the cover art in my head. What was I gonna say? Shit.
I don't know.
Oh, while I've played and enjoyed all the Metal Gears and stuff, PT just had a completely different and wonderful vibe to it,
Mm-hmm.
and I like. It's probably, sorry everybody, it's probably my favorite thing that I've played by Kojima. It's just super well done and really just creepy and
there's
yeah.
like I've played all the Metal Gears. I would say I've enjoyed all of the Metal Gears, but PT still has a lasting effect in being a game that when I'm walking through my house at night, I walk a little bit faster when I go near the front door and look up stairs. Right? And like, that says something because if it sticks with me from a fucking demo from like what, a 10-year-old game at this point that you can't even play anymore.
For those asking, by the
yeah.
way, you know what? It's been long enough to where we should say this. Absolutely. PT
Oh, I guess
was
you're right.
was a demo that was made by Kojima. Fun fact, by the way, the demo was removed from the store.
Yeah.
But there are still PlayStations that have it downloaded into their hard drive.
I've got
and
one,
those
yeah.
PlayStations actually sell for thousands and thousands of dollars because that's the only way you can get the playable teaser PT anymore. So if you have a PlayStation,
I gotta
if you
go,
have a
guys.
PlayStation with a downloaded demo of PT on it, there are people that will buy that for a lot of money. It's
Really?
actually
Yeah,
collectible.
let's not forget it was a collaboration with Kojima and Guillermo del Toro.
And Norman Reedus, yeah. The Reedus was
But to go
supposed to be in that game.
to go on to it a little bit further, it was a game that was super horror oriented. It was very unique, which is I think one of the reasons that it was so memorable is how unique it was. And everybody was super looking forward to the actual full game coming out, and it just didn't. Whole thing fell apart.
Yeah, it got like
So,
canned. It kind of bleeds into the
Whole
whole
thing fell
end of Konami and Kojima's
Oh, yeah.
relationship.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
No, it's like Gamer Firefly. You're just like, wait, it's not happening anymore.
Yeah.
Where's the next
What?
season?
What?
What's going on?
Yes.
Yep.
It does make me sad though, because if it is a full game of PT's level of scariness, there's no fucking way, dude. Like, Alan Wake was enough for me, and like PT again still sticks with me to this day. If they do a full like 10+ hour experience PT, nah, I can't
You're just
fucking
done.
play that. I can't. I legitimately do not believe I could play that. Alan Wake actually like. You were talking about rearranged chemicals in your brain earlier as a joke. I think it did for me because I can play a little bit scarier of a game now. But PT's on another fucking level. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully it's not that spooky, but hopefully it is that spooky and I get to watch other people play it and be scared shitless.
There you go.
Yeah. Moving along, we did end up spending 10 minutes on this. Jurassic Park Survival was there. The first Berserker Kazan looked really cool. Marvel's Blade, we talked about. Last Sentinel. I don't remember. Was that the one with like the motorcycle helmet girl where she came in and killed the robots? Is that Last Sentinel or is that Exodus? Or is that Exoborn? I don't know. Mecha Break was also there. Den of Wolves was also there. Exoborn, which I mentioned. And then Light No Fire, which is the
yes,
the No Man's Sky game. Yeah,
that was so funny, dude.
It
So
was-
I'm not going to
yeah.
do what I did before, but we're remaking the entire planet Earth.
Yeah, like the real Earth, like the real Earth, Mr. Keighley, and you're going to be able to join in this multiplayer. And yeah, it was eerie how like 1-to-1 that was for a No Man's Sky reveal.
Yeah. I mean, the good news, the realistic good news is it looked like, to be blunt, the game we were looking at was like probably 80% No Man's Sky. Like
Yeah.
a lot of the stuff that was in that game, they've already done. It's the stuff that they've been doing. You know, this one, I think they actually, they're a different company now than when they released No Man's Sky. Like they obviously have the pipelines to produce. They're very experienced at this point. Like I know people are jokingly saying how worried they are about it, but I have probably gonna be significantly different level than No Man's Sky was when it comes out. So
Yeah, we can hope.
they also have a boatload of money, which really helps.
That's
That
true.
really
Yeah,
helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think No Man's
Helpful.
Sky.
I honestly just picture like his therapist that like before the award show was like, okay, what did we discuss? We're not going to promise people the world this time.
Well,
I literally promised people the world.
it's his therapist / PR. They're the same person, funny enough, at that company. And so they hopefully got it right. Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
It's rough. In terms of announcements that have dates tied to them, which there are a lot of. Visions of Mana, a new Mana game coming out in 2024. Looks really cool. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, that's 2024, looking fantastic. I don't know if you guys have anything to add to that. I think you all just want to play it, is where
I just
most
want
of
to
the
play it.
community
That's
is
right.
at.
That's exactly right.
Hold on. What was the one you said before, Senua?
Visions of Mana, the new Square Enix
Oh
Mana game.
yeah. Yeah, dude. Did anyone out there? Was anyone out there lucky enough to get the Secret of Mana special edition with the shirt? Because I
No.
tried and I couldn't get it.
Where were they selling
I just
that?
hope they do that again. No, like way back in the day, it was like a collector's edition, like
Oh,
Secret of
okay.
Mana with a shirt or whatever.
Wow, that
I think it was a shirt. Could be wrong, but
might
it
have
was
been
like a big like box.
might have been like the first instance of selling merch where you buy a collector's edition. 'Cause that was like what 30 years, 20 years, a lot of years ago. What
Many,
else was
many
there?
years.
Guilty Gear had a new character in a 3v3 battle mode. World of Goo 2 kind of came out of
Yep.
left field. That was 2024 slated for. Thrasher from the makers of Thumper. That's 2024. Windblown, which we're all very excited for. That's the Dead Cells folk.
Yeah, dude, that trailer was wild.
Yeah.
Oh man, very very kind of gory, but it was like it looked like the main characters were younger. Like that was a weird, like kind of cool trailer.
Yep. Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, late 2024. I don't remember what that was.
What?
Yeah, what is Lost Records, Bloom and Rage? It's on. Oh, that's the Don't Nod game.
That's the Don't Nod game.
Yeah. That's the Don't Nod game. Yeah. Metaphor Re Fantasio. That is the Atlas game, fantasy-based Persona-ish thing, late 2024. Stormgate, First Descendant, Final Fantasy 16 Rising Tide, which is the second DLC. The first DLC is already out now. Did either of you play that by chance?
Which one?
The 16 DLC, Final Fantasy 16 DLC. I had some viewers play it, said it was fun. Got some cool boss fights, said the music was on point. But I have not touched it myself. Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 got a launch date and pushed back even further to September 9th, 2024. So that was even more of a delay, right, Co? Like they announced it was delayed, and then they delayed it even further to September of 2024. So kind of sucks, but at least
So
we're
mark
still
that
getting
on your
game.
calendar. 9/9.
Oh yeah, 9/9/24 for sure.
Yeah, it's interesting because I mean, like, I wonder what went kind of so wrong to warrant that much of a delay. Because especially they were kind of pretty dead set before. So, hey, but whatever. If it's going to take longer and be a better game,
I'm curious on the topic of delays, and this might be a much longer conversation than what I'm looking for. But when someone delays a game, do you think, oh, something went wrong, or do you think, oh, they need more time to work on it?
I think those go hand in hand.
Sure. But
and
I guess what I'm saying, the crux of the question is it negative or positive for you?
Delaying a game is always negative.
Really?
But the reason may not necessarily be a big deal. If a game is delayed, that means that something went wrong. But it might have just been the marketing team over announcing and being too aggressive or something like that. So if it's something like that, whatever, game needs more time, that's fine. But I will say that there are...
Hold on, guys. I think what Co is, like, what he meant is having to delay a game is always a negative. Not delaying a game is negative because they need to polish it.
No,
that's a good thing.
The reason of the game, delaying a game is always negative. It's never a good thing because it's never a good thing for the company making the game, not us.
Yeah.
Right.
That's because again, something on their side went wrong. Be it they were too aggressive with their date, the management wasn't right, scope creep. Or take a game like Skull and Bones. Maybe they just got to a point where like, we can't do this. This game sucks. Let's figure something else out. That's one of the reasons Skull and Bones has been around in dev hell for years, because they had to literally at many times be like, we need to redo this. This isn't fun. But what I will say is for us, the player, you only release a game a single time. And it is so important that is done right. There are almost no circumstances when it's better to release a buggy game now as opposed to a better game later. So it's that kind of situation. So in terms of Space Marine 2, like if they feel they need that much more time, I think that is indicative that something is not good on their dev side. Be it they were completely out of sync with the marketing team, or something was discovered that's like, maybe they got to a point where they're like, okay, you know what? We were going to try to like patch up these technical issues, but this is too much and we got to do this a different way. Like we need to fundamentally do this a different way because we cannot get this to work how we wanted to, which would of course be a huge deal. But yeah, I think the longer the delay, the more indicative that something went wrong on their side. Yes. But I will say that a delay is almost always better for us.
Yeah, that was, I guess I needed to frame the question that I was asking more like for you personally, when a game is delayed, is it a positive or negative thing? Because for me, it's always positive.
Always positive.
Yeah, it's always positive. Well, not always positive, but
it sucks that we have to wait.
Yeah, every once in a while I'll be like, fuck, I don't want to wait that long.
The product will almost always inevitably be better for us. Yeah. And the thing is, I mean, the way that humans work, especially if we're super excited for something, we're going to play it when we can.
Right.
So it's interesting to think about, even if you love a game, there's going to be a lot of games you're only going to want to play one time. Maybe it's a super story heavy game. Maybe it doesn't have any repetitious qualities, that kind of thing. So it is actually better. The experience will be better for us if we play the version that is the best representation of that product. So, it's that kind of situation.
Sure.
Yeah. We're all of the same, like, agreement. Like, don't give it to us till it's done. It's fine.
Yeah.
We'll wait.
Yeah.
And nobody on this planet has any form of self-control to be spoken of. So, it's better.
Very true. Very true.
Very true.
We'll all play it on September 9th, 2024. Black Myth Wukong, August 20th, which I think we're all... Yeah. If they can nail the combat of that game, it'll be very good. That's my biggest worry, is that the combat in that game actually feels good. Because it looks amazing. And the story that they could tell in terms of Journey to the West is very fascinating, and I think not a story a lot of us are familiar with, which could also be exciting. But the combat has to feel good, and that's the biggest if there.
Certainly looked like it was going to feel good.
Yeah,
which is good.
Yeah.
On which game I missed the title.
Black Myth Wukong. The old Wukong.
Oh, okay.
Rise of the Ronin, March 22nd. Outlast Trials, March 5th, although that's out in early access today. So I guess that's the 1.0 launch.
Game's fun.
Yeah. Tales of Kenzara Zao. I don't know what that is. Is that a mobile game? I'm Googling. Hold on. That is on Steam. It is... Oh, okay. That's the like 2D side scroller game from the very impassioned guy that was on stage talking about his father's passing, and why he was making that game.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, that game looks cool.
yeah. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, that's February 29th. Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons getting a remake. That's coming out one day before Final Fantasy VII on the 28th. Skull and Bones, February 16th. I think having a beta, like an open beta next week. Banishers, Ghost of New Eden, February 13th. Helldivers 2, February 8th. Jesus, February is stacked. Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, February 2nd. Persona 3 Reload, February 2nd. Prince of Persia, The Last Crown, January 18th. And then the Apex Legends and Final Fantasy VII. Collab on January 9th. Man, February is actually super stacked. That is 1, 2,
When's
3,
Rebirth?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 games. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is the final day of February the 29th on leap year.
On leap year, interesting.
Leap year
Nice.
day. Yeah. And then the other stuff announced, Asgard's Wrath was shown. Dave the Diver X Dredge, that's getting the DLC.
What a cool idea,
Is that
man.
free? Is that free?
I don't know, but
Okay.
it's such a cool idea.
That's 5 days from now. Paleo's launching on the Switch 4 days from now. Ready or Not will be coming out the 13th. Shameless plug.
It is free.
It is free.
How cool.
That's
my
worth
lord.
it. Yeah. Ready or Not.
It is
Shameless plug.
indeed worth.
We'll be playing the three of us this Wednesday when that launches. Tune in if you want to see three idiots try to be SWAT members. It's gonna be
like
a mess.
the Three Stooges does SWAT.
It's gonna.
Oh my lord, dude.
It's gonna be a thing. It's gonna be a thing.
It is
Warframe
gonna be a
Whispers of the
thing.
Wall launches the same day. God of War Ragnarok Valhalla DLC, which I think is a roguelike DLC that comes out 2 days from now on Tuesday. And then stuff that is out now that don't really need to promo the whole list. I guess the finals was the big announcement in terms of like the full game that you can play.
Oh, I hope Ready or Not doesn't have friendly fire.
Oh, it 100% does. It's a
Breach, clear.
it is a strategic SWAT simulator, like Rainbow Six on steroids, from everything I know about it.
Oh no.
So get ready, because we're
I'm
not
going
going to last,
to
Zeke.
I'm going to prematurely apologize to both of you.
I'm
Maybe
excited.
I should just always be at the front.
I got dibs
Maybe
on
you're the
Tackleberry.
breacher. You got
There we
dibs
go.
on what, Zeke?
On Tackleberry. Like, I got to be the guy in the white helmet with the big like revolver
Oh, okay.
from Police
Oh,
Academy.
got it, okay.
I'm that guy.
All right. Co's the breacher.
Police Academy was a movie in the late 90s.
Yeah.
Fuck, I forget I'm old.
Yeah. You got to be careful with that.
Like,
You
you've
gotta
all
be
seen
careful with
Police
that.
Academy. Oh my God, you haven't. None of you have.
Yeah.
No, but
Late
late 80s.
we
yeah,
have,
late
but
80s.
not most of chat.
I thought there was one in the 90s. Maybe not. I thought there were a few of them, but yeah.
There might have
Yeah,
been.
why don't you just ask Jeeves about it? He'll tell you. Oh, fuck.
Exactly.
I'll just Alta Vista it.
There you go. If you find it, email me at CompuServe.
At angelfire.com. That's where my homepage is, by the way. GeoCities.
And then the last thing that Sven forgot to do on stage because he got did he get kicked? I don't know if he got hurry up on stage, but Baldur's Gate 3 is out for the Xbox. That got announced.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those were all the announcements. Those were all the things. For me, like I said, most excited for Monster Hunter and Blade. I think were the big two takeaways, and probably the biggest announcement at the show, just in general of scope for what people are excited about. Zeke, for you, I'm curious, what was your like biggest announcement?
Honestly, like Pony Island 2, like, cause I
Yep.
love Daniel Mullins, I think is his name.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love Daniel Mullins' stuff. He's the guy behind Inscription, Pony Island, like all of like his stuff that I've played is just great, and it's weird, and it's surprising, and I'm really excited for that. But like, I don't want to seem like, like I'm the indie guy, so I'm excited for the indie game only. Like, no, that's not true. Like, I am excited for a couple of other things, but that by far is probably like the thing that really excited me most.
Got it. Cool.
The rest of them, like watching the Game Awards, or like with Game Awards, Summer Game Fest, stuff like that. It's because they don't have enough money. Like a lot of the indie things don't have enough money. So like I watch it and I get sort of excited, but like more often than not, like you gotta watch like this, like, Joe Blow's indie showcase to see like, oh, that's the shit I'm excited for.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, honestly, like if you're talking about not just announcements, but like the show itself, like seeing Long on stage and seeing people like possibly get introduced to them for the first time was really cool. And I'm not like a huge Long fan, but they are a fucking show. Like I saw them at Red Rocks, and while I didn't like every song, it was like I loved watching every song because those guys they go all out. They bring fucking antlers and boats and like all that shit. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. I need to add that to the soundboard.
And everybody was like, I remember when the World of Goo 2 was announced, and like you guys were like, I know you, JP, but like even like chats were like blowing up.
Co was more excited for it than I was.
There you go, Co. There you go.
Yeah.
I vividly remember playing World of Goo while taking calls at my old IT job. It was great. I loved it.
It was like one of the first big mobile like success games that showed that mobile games could be more than just like whatever the standard mobile game was at the time, which I don't even recall.
Yep.
I did not know it was a mobile game.
Well, it got ported to mobiles, I think.
I was going to say, I did not play it on mobile.
Yeah.
I played it on PC or whatever.
Yeah. I remember it as like the big mobile game that got ported over.
Mm-hmm.
And did
World of Goo is a super cool, endearing little kind of indie game. It's a lot of fun. You should totally play the first one before the second one if you're looking at it. Worth it.
Yeah, it made me kind of want to check it out. And I'll wrap it up. Give me just one other. I just need to get this out. I gotta say, like, my least favorite part of the Game Awards, and I gotta mention this, my least favorite part of the Game Awards was getting shushed by not only one but both of you at different times.
Oh yeah, with the world premieres, yeah. Well, one you were
awesome.
for mine, you were doing the like world. What do you remember the trailers?
Oh, I was doing like a remix. Yeah,
you were doing a remix during like a big trailer, and I forgot.
But there was no like the thing that the reason why it stood out to me is like it wasn't really any sound I was covering up. All of it was visual. So I was like,
oh,
come on, bro.
To be fair, I don't remember what it was.
I get it.
No.
I'm trying to remember.
I love your dulcet tones. I do. But I do remember at one point I was trying to listen to somebody and could not hear them because you were making a joke. Yeah. And I was just like, no, I'm trying to hear. I don't remember what it was, though. It was, I think it was one of the things I liked. But you guys weren't into it.
I think it comes with the territory. Like, if you're going to do the world premiere stuff, Zeke, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I would take it like personal.
Like, being me my entire life, like, if being shushed was something that I took personal, like I would be a very bitter person right now.
I think as streamers, I think we, getting told to shut up on the regulars kind of comes with the territory.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
And that's the Game Awards. At least the Game Awards. Our Game Awards. One more time. dfgoty.com. Go vote. Hey, that Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer came out. We haven't talked about it. We're going to get the last words on here, I guess. Because everyone else has talked and ranted and raved. Where are you guys at? How did you feel about the most watched trailer of all time? Question mark. Like, how many views is that out now? Let's see. It was at 130 million when I looked.
Damn.
138 million views. Yeah.
I need like some kind of plaid undershirt with suspenders and glasses that go way down further my nose so I can be like, well, JP, there was a lot of twerking.
There was.
A lot of twerking. Lots of twerking. Twerks over here, twerks over there, right up in your face, bouncing around. I mean, it's a lot of
In your
twerking, JP.
face.
A lot of
it.
twerking. A lot of twerking. No complaints, mind you. But there was
Oh no.
a lot of butt.
Tweak the twerk factor was off the charts.
I believe we're at about 0.7
There's some twerk.
TPMs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of twerks.
Or was it 3.8 TPMs? I think it was 3.8 last calculation.
Mm-hmm.
No, but anyway, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Okay, go ahead.
I watched this. I think the best parts by far were the random Florida guy moments. I thought those looked hilarious. But everything between that, I was just like, it looks like more GTA. Which isn't a bad thing. But it's just like, cool. Yeah.
It didn't impress you.
Looks a little better.
I guess the direct question I'll ask, it didn't impress you graphically?
It did impress me a little bit graphically, for sure. But I expected that.
Right.
I expected, I went in especially after seeing RDR2, I expected the next graphical push forward from Rockstar. So, I expected that. Basically, I guess the short of it is, I came in with very specific expectations that it was going to be a beautiful looking GTA. And I came in whelmed, and I left whelmed and slightly more aroused. That's kind of where that's okay. Basically how that worked. That was it. I have to admit there were parts of me that were kind of hoping maybe I would see some stuff that kind of was like wowing me more, maybe a bit more. But it also, I saw that and I realized that I feel like Yakuza has spoiled me in some ways. Because it, after seeing the stuff for Infinite Wealth and seeing all the crazy mini games and the side menus and all this stuff that's just wild and different and pushing it forward, I kind of was like, okay, this is probably going to be more GTA. Let's check it out. And it was a lot more GTA. Okay, anyway, that's it's just nothing surprised me is what I should say. I was kind of hoping to be surprised by something, and nothing in that trailer surprised me. It's pretty much, again, outside of some of the funny Florida man stuff, which is great. I'm totally here for that.
Yeah.
Nothing was really surprising at all. Yeah.
I am in complete agreement with you. I think the only thing they could have done is fuck it up. I was whelmed. I was whelmed.
Yeah.
Not over, not under. I was whelmed.
Yeah.
It was I looked at him at good job. That is, you get a satisfactory. You get it was a pass fail.
Yeah.
And you pass.
And here's and I want to point out, because I've been getting this a lot with this feedback that I have of the trailer. This isn't a bad thing. I'm not giving it a negative review. I'm not, my expectations were pretty high for it. So and then met expectations. So, it's not a bad thing to be it's more GTA. Because, I liked GTA 5. I've enjoyed other GTAs in the past. This looks like it's going to be more of that. Doesn't look like they're taking any super risks with it. That's okay. So, let's see what they got.
To that point, though, I'm trying to think of what they could have done to I know there's millions of things they could have done to make it look shitty or fuck it up. What could they have done to wow me but still be GTA?
This is where the Yakuza stuff comes in. Imagine if all of a sudden they showed the main character on a stage surrounded by people and he was doing karaoke and there was a Guitar Hero style GTA thing going across the bottom, which of course most people would roll their eyes at. But I would look at that and be like, oh, wait, is there going to be new stuff we've never seen in GTA before? Or maybe if they just if they showed stuff again that you would not expect, something new, something that has not been in GTA before. That's what I think would have been a bit more, for someone like me, a little bit more interesting. For the word karaoke is a terrible example, but just stuff that we haven't seen in GTA before. That's the thing. Everything in that trailer we've kind of seen in one, car chases, heists, people acting foolish and yelling at each other. Again, we've seen all that 100 times. There was just nothing really really cool and interesting and new. Again, outside of the Florida man stuff, which was hilarious in some cases. I want to see that grandma in action. I want to know how we got there. I want to know how we're going to deal with it. That was honestly one of the highlights of the entire thing.
Apparently one of the dudes they parodied from ripped from the headlines Florida stuff.
Oh, the Joker
money out of it.
Yeah, he's trying to sue
the Joker
them, right?
guy. Yeah, he's trying to. It's just a publicity thing, but yeah it's just. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess hearing you guys talk about it, I guess I was very excited when I saw it. And I think it looks graphically. I was impressed, but it's a 2-year out trailer. they didn't necessarily show anything that was like awe-inspiring, kind of what you guys are saying. So maybe I actually was whelmed. That, or you guys influenced me to be whelmed.
I do not want to be an influencer. I don't.
Somebody
did point out in chat.
me.
Somebody did point in chat. I do like the fact that it looks like you're going to be playing a lady lead. That is relatively new. That's
Potentially,
pretty cool.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
totally down with that. That's a whole different avenue to explore. So that could be cool.
And
that could be
and Latin as well, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
From the looks of it.
Yep. I mean, and that's the thing. Like, I've been doing RPGs for so long. I've played the entire gamut of
Oh, you played both. Oh.
characters and stories and backgrounds and all that kind of stuff. Like, I think it maybe like dulled me to like, oh shit, this is the first female lead in a GTA. Like, it seriously didn't register because, like, you know, I played like, you know, like those Dark Souls characters, like the big chest and the little tiny waist and they're blue and, you know, like that kind of shit. Like, so like being a female is like, it didn't even like fucking register for me.
Yeah. I think it's supposed to be a co-op.
GTA
thing.
chat's saying GTA 1 had female leads. Oh,
there you go.
there you go. I don't even know if I played.
Forgive me. I didn't
That was
start
a
playing
fully-
until
That was a
3.
fully top down one, right? Wasn't that one like?
apologize.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Burkity says, I can't wait for the GTA went woke takes. You don't have to wait. They already exist. That's already a giant conversation in certain parts of the internet that you could go and read about if you so desire.
Don't though.
But you
Don't,
know
though.
what? Do that on your own
I mean,
time.
why don't?
Let's just do that on your own time.
Yeah.
No, quick question. This is something that was brought up. Like, I just want to be sure. Is it in Vice City?
I think it's in the greater Florida area, which also contains Vice City.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think the game's going to be big. It seems like they're going to do a lot in terms of like the scope of it. But yeah.
Oh, there was a Vice sign in it. Okay,
There was a Vice sign,
I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Cool. I didn't see it.
Cool. That is that trailer. What else? The day before. Don't know how long we need to discuss it, but it is now one of Steam's worst reviewed games after people played it. That thing
And
launched-
nobody was surprised.
Yeah. It is a fucking hot mess. What is it currently sitting at? Actually, I'm now curious. Let me load it up. Day before Steam, 2 out of 10, 17,000 reviews, overwhelmingly negative on Steam.
17,000.
Yeah.
And you have to buy the game to leave a review?
I think, is that how I think so. Yeah. $40 game. It was in the top selling list of Steam.
Oh, but you could still leave a review if you refund it, huh?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, man. I had someone in my chat trying to convince me to play it. They were like, it's still fun. It's still awesome. I was like, I don't know, man.
I'm not doing a community day for December just because of holidays and
They
whatnot.
closed the Discord for the game.
It'll probably get voted. I'll probably play it at some point. I didn't realize they closed the Discord. Yeah.
Check reviews with over 2 hours of playtime, someone in chat said. Is that a thing? Can you sort for that?
Yeah, it says on their account how many hours played. Like on the comment.
Per playtime, over 10 hours. I mean, this person played it 14 hours. With 12 hours in the game, I can make a legit review and tell you the facts. Fact 1, 38,000 players yesterday, 8,700 players day 2, enough said. I mean, not really, but...
Not really, but okay.
Yeah. Game launch, this person has 30 hours on record. Game launched as a scam and needs to be forced by Steam to tell the truth. Steam should not allow this type of behavior on their platform. I'm playing this game until my buddy who bought it for me gets to play, as that was his wish, but no one should legally be allowed to scam you by lying about its game type and open world aspects. They are even hiding the original trailers that showed a lot more of the things they advertised that the game just doesn't do. I did hear about that. They
The bro
private
played 30 hours?
Yes, he has played 30 hours of it. Yeah, it's a lot. So they hid trailers on YouTube from when the game was first announced because none of that content actually made it to launch, which is not great.
I still think it has one of the best bugs of the year that you played the clip of during the show.
That was awesome.
That is one of the best bugs I think I've seen in a long time.
Yeah. There's
Oh, man.
I saw.
Okay, we talked about the day before.
I saw some more. There was a clip of Asmund going around where he like sees another person. And he's like stalking with the idea that he's going to shoot said person in the game. And after like 5 or 6 minutes, he gets up to the person, draws his rifle, aims down sight, left clicks, and when he left clicks, the game fatal errors and crashes. So he doesn't.
Of course,
he doesn't even get a chance to shoot. It's really good. It's really good. But the day before is out. Don't play it. It's bad.
That was the one we watched the clip of the thing coming out of the ground, like the big.
Yeah.
That was fucking fun.
It was indeed.
people saying it has potential. That's great. We'll check back
Really?
in 2 to 6 years.
Well, God damn it. That's such an easy thing to say about anything. Like, yes, everything has potential. Sure.
Really? Okay, yeah. Okay, it's got potential, I guess.
Potential's good.
We'll just move forward.
Someone in chat says even Zeke has potential.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
That
I
reaction
can
was the
handle
best.
being shushed, but that is the line.
What is that? What's that user's name? We've got some open VIP tags. In there.
Give that person a sub.
Oh my lord.
Oh god. What else happened this past week? Oh, we
See,
can,
Call of Duty, that's how you do it, by the way.
there you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Great.
Yeah.
All right.
Twitch in Korea is shutting down. February
Yeah,
27th,
dude.
2024, the Twitch Korea will no longer exist. And it's a really fucked up situation. That
Put it mildly.
yeah, like the reason being they posted a blog on the whole thing, and it kind of came out of nowhere, at least for me. I don't know if any of the like Korean streamers were tipped off or like aware that this might be a possibility, but
So according to Twitch, this did come out of nowhere, but it's something they've been trying to fix for years. Like it's not like the thing happened out of nowhere. They've been trying for a long time to have it not be a thing.
yeah.
And then it got to a point where it's like, okay, we can't do this anymore. Like that's the part that came out of nowhere. The part that like they knew that there was a problem and they were trying to address it, but they just couldn't make it work.
Yeah.
Which is horrible.
They had turned off 1080p in Korea. I don't think VODs and or clips were working as a service over there as well, just for trying to lower bandwidth costs. But the unfortunate issue is that in Korea, network fees are 10x more expensive than in most other countries. And that is because my understanding that the South Korean government has a higher fee for outside bandwidth usage when it comes to other companies. So like Africa, for example, which I think is Korean owned, is cheaper to operate than like a Twitch, is how I understand it. Foreign companies, yeah. And so it's quite literally the government imposes these fees for outside foreign countries, which is a shame, because a lot of people will be like, oh, well, all these streamers will just move to YouTube. Netflix is in a situation where they're almost comparable to like what YouTube's doing, and they're not happy, and I think maybe like pulled out of Korea already. So it's kind of messed up. YouTube might be doing the same down the line, especially if their operating costs go up because of all of these streamers swapping over. Not a good situation whatsoever, and there's already been a ton of South Korean streamers that are rightfully so kind of out of a job. Not kind of, they are out of a job. Like they're straight up saying,
it's not really kind of.
Yeah, they straight up went live and just said like, yeah, come February, I don't have a job. I can't keep doing this anymore unless I move. And it's not just unless I move, because it's a lot more complicated than that. You can't just like go to Canada and start streaming. You have to have like a work visa and like set up stuff so that all of the payments go into a non-South Korean entity, from my understanding. So not a good look, and not a good thing, and not as good situation in any form for kind of everyone involved. Sucks for everyone.
I
involved.
wonder.
No.
like, if
It's
this
okay.
will-
Just real quick. It is not Twitch that's setting the price. No,
It's South
somebody
Korea,
said, "Why
yeah,
is Twitch?
South-
Why is Twitch doing that to them?" It's not Twitch. Twitch
Yeah.
is not the one into this.
Yeah.
I wonder if this will bring about any sort of like new hacks, technology, whatever you want to call it, to like circumvent it.
VPN. Well, the problem is
Like,
The problem
we're
is
talking
though,
about
it doesn't
legal-
matter.
It's the problem is it's the data. That's the problem. So like it's not like Twitch is gonna VPN, all of their data in through another country into South Korea.
I'm not saying
and
Twitch's on Twitch's behalf. I'm saying the streamers themselves, or like,
Well,
the streamers would stream to a VPN in a different country, and then that would go.
I'm
to
not
Twitch.
saying I know how it would work. I'm just
Yeah,
saying, like,
okay.
I wonder if there's something we
Okay.
haven't thought of that they'll figure out a workaround for.
the issue is that the streamers can't get paid as well
Oh fuck! Well, okay.
because Twitch
Then, yeah.
Korea won't exist.
I got you.
So they would have to have their
Fundamental misunderstanding
Yeah.
on my part.
So, and also
Sorry about
just for the record, as far as I understand, are they going to allow Korean streamers to keep streaming unpaid, or are they turning the whole shebang off?
So that was one of the things. Dan Clancy, the CEO of Twitch, went live on his own channel and asked, like, will we still be able to view Twitch in South Korea? And he did not have an answer for that. At that point in time, he said, we're still
Wow.
kind of working out to see how that's going to, what that
So
means.
And if you can't view Twitch, you certainly wouldn't be able to stream on it in that case. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
dang, dude.
Um,
Wow, just shutting out an entire country.
yeah. It's awful.
I'm surprised the government isn't working with them a little on this.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they have their own streaming services, which, are quote unquote in-house.
Is this all said in? Well, they said they're still working out. I wonder if this is all a public negotiating tactic.
Maybe. I'm not sure. If it was, it sucks that this is the like card that Twitch is having to play,
Yeah.
but I don't
They
know.
have said, again. They've said they've been working on it for years. So maybe this is just their last, them showing their hand kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like either this or they really do just turn it off. I don't know. Messed up.
Yeah. Not a good thing.
Not a good situation.
It was incredibly heartbreaking to watch all of the South Korean streamers react in real time when this news came out to basically losing your job, like losing your livelihood and having zero control. It's honestly the thing that we have always touted is like, Twitch at any moment tomorrow could turn this whole thing off. And it quite literally happened for.
I love how you use like the old man voice for that.
Well, that's because we've been saying it for 10 years, right? Like the idea
Yeah,
of
not
our
wrong,
job
not wrong.
and our livelihood being taken away has always been
I remember
real fear.
There was like a half year period during the DCMA thing, God, 6 or 7 years ago, when some random game dev tweeted like, why aren't we making it so our games have to be paid for whenever we stream them? And that everyone all of a sudden was like, what if the industry gets together overnight and decides that their games, just like movies and TV shows, can be DMCA'd off the platform unless they get paid, and all that stuff, which could happen. That could happen still any day.
Good.
But it's a crazy situation.
It's fucking terrifying. Like one of my
And I
old,
just have to do reacts all day. Ugh.
right. Yeah. One of my old colleagues, Tasteless, I was worried that he was no longer he lives in South Korea, was no longer going to be able to stream anymore. And that's kind of like his main source of income these days. But for him, he actually was one of the original partners on Twitch, and his contract was based in the US. So he can still live in Korea and stream, but he's based out of
Aren't
the
there
US on that.
giant Korean esport tournaments though?
Yep. And that's a whole nother thing that
They dominate
Yeah,
a lot of them.
that is what's kind of happening. I think behind the scenes, that
Licensing things and for
Yeah.
specific events and
League of Legends, kind of a big deal in South Korea. Some of the greatest players in the world play out of there. What the fuck is going to happen with all of that? Because they all stream to Twitch.
I was sitting here thinking like trying to put myself in that position. Like, what would I do? Like, I would honestly like I would look into getting a fucking visa for another country.
It's so
I
hard.
absolutely would, dude.
Well, at least for the US, a work visa is so difficult to get,
I
especially
know,
on
but
a 3-month
what the
stint.
fuck else am I qualified for?
Yeah. Well, what else do you do, right? Like it's an impossible thing to begin with, and so they're just
Find an international husband or waifu promptly.
well, that was the joke that all of the streamers were making. Is like, well, I guess I got to marry someone now in the
Guess I gotta go marry a viewer now.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
The things I do for content.
Yeah. Rough stuff. I'm sure we'll still see the ripples of this all the way up until the end. As it
I
were.
like someone in chat. I imagine you said that with this voice. Parasocial viewer reporting, sir.
Yeah. Exactly.
I am here to service your needs, whatever they may be.
Exactly. Exactly. I also will say this because I think it is appropriate.
My time has come.
For the time. Shout out to Dan Clancy for immediately going live on his channel when this was announced and just having like a straight up conversation with his chat, answering
Open
questions.
mic. Yep.
Yeah.
And he literally tweets out like, "This is going to be a tough one. Let's do it."
Yeah. Not something we would have seen of a former
Ever.
CEO ever, really.
Nope.
And that is, I think, just because they are different people, right? They approach the
Yep.
situation differently, but like really, really awesome to see Dan out there and approaching it this way. Even when he got the stupidest of questions in chat about
Oh no.
just about random shit, he still answered them. He still took the time for 45 minutes to an hour on like a Wednesday evening, I think, at like 9 or 10, and did it.
We're talking about
So,
Dan's Clancy, but shout out to Dan's Gaming too, friend of the show, great guy.
Yeah, both Dans.
But we're talking about Dan Clancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both the Dans are great.
both the Dans are great. That was really cool to see. So, what else has happened in the past?
Say an example of a stupid question, please.
There was I forget the exact question, but there was something asked about XQC that he like read out loud.
You're welcome, chat. I gave you that.
That I don't recall. And there was one about Forsen as well that he answered. I just remember hearing it and thinking like, wow, that was a complete waste of time. And then it escaped my brain space after that.
I like, yeah. For the record, JP, that would have been a lot better if you just not said anything, and we would have had an uncomfortable pause for about 10 seconds.
Sure. Yeah, maybe so.
Next time.
Let me see if there's anything else. Chat, we forgetting anything? Kind of a big week for games, to be honest. Like so many going into the holiday season, there is an absolute plethora of games that you can play right now.
And if you are an RPG fan, you were eating good.
If you're an if you're an RPG fan, you're eating good.
Yeah.
If you're a survival game fan, you're eating good. If you're an FPS gamer, you're eating good. If you're
I love that this is the first time this guy's
ARPG?
ever said anything in my channel, and he just goes, "Yeah, Golem on Switch this month too."
Yeah,
First thing he's ever
Fuck it.
said in the channel.
Golem on Switch.
Yes, thank you for that, Capital Reef.
Yeah. You got Final Fantasy DLC. You got a ton of stuff.
Let's go. That's right.
Got an absolute
Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader.
Yeah, that's out. That's out. Playable.
Play it. Yeah.
We'll get. I have some questions about that. By the way, for the three of us,
Mostly.
apparently Lethal Company updated, and they added more to the game. Also, there's a mod which I have to tell the two of you about. So one of the things that actually has been a constant amongst almost every community, I think we actually said it on our when we were playing with a bunch of our friends, would be, man, it would be so cool if they would record the comms and there was an imposter. They modded it and it exists now. It saves locally on your own PC and it's not AI related. It just saves sound bites. And the sound bites, I think, are different for every person that hears it, is my understanding. But when you're running around, they will randomly save audio clips from the comms and the monsters will play them at random when you're inside. and I think it's
That is
fucking
amazing.
awesome.
Okay, we have to
it's a
play
mod.
again, if nothing else, just to play with that.
Yeah, so we
That's
need to
incredible.
do that. The clips that I've seen running around are terrifying because someone will be like, I don't know, they'll be like, hey, there's something over here, right? That's they'll just hear that while running around, and so the person will follow the voice, and then go on comms and say, hey, where did you say that item was? And then they'll hear, hey, there's something over here. Yeah, where is here? Where is here? I'm trying to, and then the person will talk on the comms, the real person, and go, dude, I haven't said anything in like a minute. And then the person stops talking and runs for the exit.
Like, I just saw Max's reaction on the clip. That's incredible.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
It's
also apparently they've added fake exit doors.
Yes, there is the mimic exit door mod for the
so
the fire exit.
if you open the wrong door, it's the same as ringing the bell too many times, and tentacles fly out and grab you. And the best clip so far, I think, I want to say it's Kraken. I don't know if you have that handy. It is one of the better clips. Is one of the better clips I've seen this year. Strip and retweeted it.
While you're looking for that, if like that, the soundbite thing was it like completely terrifying to me because one of like the creepiest and scariest moments in a movie recently, I don't know how old it is, but like Annihilation was the name of the movie, and it had a moment in it where that it's very similar. You should watch it if you haven't, but it had a moment in it, and you'll know what I'm talking about if you've seen it. Holy fuck, that moment like scared the bejesus out of me,
dude. Yeah,
and that's what this sounds like. Fucking terrifying.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes.
I had forgotten that part. And now fuck you. Okay.
Dude. It gave me nightmares.
I almost want to spoiler this because I'm probably never going to see it.
Oh, you should. Well, you could probably find the clip of it. You don't have to watch the full movie. Yeah. Does the Kraken clip need audio?
Oh, yes, it does. It absolutely does.
You guys won't.
So
have
the one thing, the quick preface for this is that if you notice, they just found two doors next to each other. All right.
I'm scared to go into it. Okay, I'm gonna test if it's a mimic. If I don't come back, then I've been eaten.
Wait, let's both open at the same time. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Well, at least this one's safe.
Holy fucking hell.
So the audio for the two, or for Zeke is let's open them at the same time. 1, 2, 3. He opens it, and then Kraken goes, well, at least this one's safe. And then he opens it, and it's not safe. So,
so apparently there can be multiple horrible doors.
That's funny.
That was the timing on that is fantastic.
I guess we haven't done a show.
I don't know if that one's
about
a mod. The Mimic is a mod. I don't know if that one's a mod. I'm not sure.
Oh, I'm not sure. I
there was an update that added a bunch of stuff too. So.
Yeah, the update they added today did add some new monster types, which I will not spoil if we're going to be playing it.
Oh, yeah. Let's not look into that.
Yeah.
Let's not look into that at all.
But
we can play this week at some point.
We haven't done a show since we played that, but I think we've all been in multiple lobbies at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Lethal Company is a hell of a thing. What a fantastic thing that is, and it's really kind of taken over at least the streamer world. It's doing quite well, I think. Is just a game that is being played and sold, and it's a solo dev. I think it's like a 21-year-old dev that is making it or released it. It might not be solo anymore, but
and awesomely enough, his name is Zeekers.
Nice. I didn't know that. That's great. Zeke stays winning. But just what a fantastic thing. If you haven't played it, grab some folks, try to join a server and group up with some random folks and do it, because we all, I think, loved it. We love putting together. Anytime I think any of us can like get together with other streamers and do co-op things that make sense is a blast, and it really facilitates that quite well.
The thing that's like there's a lot of games that you can play that are called fun with friends.
Yeah,
and what that generally means is when you say it, especially with that kind of like downward turn at the end. Oh, it's fun with friends. Like what that generally means is you're having fun because you're with friends. And you know, that's the reason for the fun. This game is a good example of a game that's great fun and even better with friends. Like it's a game that's just really, really enjoyable. The moments are there regardless if you're with people or not, but they're exacerbated and grown out so much if you're playing with other people. It's games like this don't come along too often.
I would agree. I can't wait to see what he continues to add to it. They already had a new update, I think, yesterday, and so he's going to continue pushing content to it. And it's also not expensive, right? Like, what is it, like
$10?
$10?
$10.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's absolutely worth it.
I know because I bought 2 copies of it for friends recently.
There you go. How did the session go with Katie, Zeke? Because that was her
Oh.
Yeah,
first
how
time
was it?
playing, right? Was it a mess?
Yeah, no, it was 2 of the people's first time playing. It was Katie and Inky, my mod. It was great. It's you like the gameplay loop gets a little stale if you've played a lot,
Yes.
but it completely refreshes itself if you get new players in and you've played before, because you go to a stormy place and you don't say shit and you just sit back and like, oh, this is gonna be good. And they're like, what planet is this? And they're standing on the railing, like, and you see that little yelp. I'm like, oh, it's a great planet. Here, look over there. And you're like, no, just stay there and look at that. And you're like, yes.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Oh, yes. And people were saying like, oh, you're gonna troll her hard. And I'm like, no, I don't have to. The game does the trolling.
Yeah, the game does all of it.
I just don't warn you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
if that's
the
trolling, I guess that's trolling. But like, yeah, the game will do it to you anyway, and it did, and it was fantastic. Like, someone was like, walking with the key out, like, okay, we're gonna take the key to the dungeon and just fucking destroy it. Or one of the best ones was like, all 3 of us were like just barely outside of the ship, and we were talking about what we were gonna do. And then I saw the dust start flying off of the ground. I'm
The
like,
worm.
oh, this is gonna be good. And you just hear, what the fuck?
In that moment, did you just like slowly back up so you get a better view?
No, I stayed there.
Oh,
I
you
absolutely
stayed there and died.
I got eaten too. Like, all 3 of us got eaten that were there.
You're a
Can't,
trooper.
can't give many hints.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. And honestly, like, playing with new people, streaming it, I was thinking, like, towards the end, I was like, it's okay if I die. It's probably even better, because
Oh, you
I'll
get
just
to watch.
spectate them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing, as a creator, this is just a clip generator.
The factory.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's, after all of our sessions, it was 30 minutes of just watching things that happened that you don't even know occurred to other people, because you have no way of knowing how they died. And 99% of the time they died in some glorious, hilarious, absolutely absurd way.
Or just missed a jump.
But it's still funny as hell because of the conversation that usually leads up to it.
Gravity is still the worst enemy in the game.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Just a random hole, darkness, falling down and going, God damn it.
Yeah. It's a hell of a thing, Lethal Company. If you haven't played it or watched it, definitely do. It's some of the best laughs I've had all year.
I'll tell you this, like, 2 hours playing with streamers, and then I actually like played it on my own time with just a pickup group. I just joined a random group.
Yeah.
And 2 hours playing with them, like, we got to, like, I don't know, quota level 5 or whatever, and we couldn't even get past 2 with the fucking 4 streamer team up.
Well, streamers, the content.
Yeah.
It's all about content generation for streamers, not making quota. So, yeah.
Truth.
Yeah. I
I
know.
can't believe you just said that. I'm never playing with you again. How dare you even suggest that?
I know a couple
Not
of
making quota.
I know a couple of people that are trying to go for 4,000 or whatever.
Valkyrie was tweeting that, wasn't she? Over on YouTube.
Yeah.
They got like a team of a ton of people doing that stuff.
So maybe that's the.
Can you even do that with
goal.
4 people, or do you have to have like a bunch?
They might be using the mod to get more people on there. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But some of those later tiers have like a couple thousand materials in them.
You have to go to the high tier
Okay.
planets.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If
There's
you
a
get
lot.
all the
The
loot out of a
only-
high tier planet, though, you're sitting pretty.
Yeah, the
Some of
only
those
thing
planets are
that not disappoint me, but the only thing I'm looking forward to get me more excited about Lethal Company is adding some sort of goal end game something.
Mm.
You know, I just like it felt like after playing for a while and getting up to like, because I was in a crew once that had like a $1,500-$1,700 quota, and I'm just like, oh, now it's just fetch. That's all it is now.
Sure.
Because like the point of the game is not the quota. The point of the game is to play it with people and watch them die.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just all, you know, it just depends on what your goals are, how you're having fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good time. I'm sure we'll have more.
It is.
More groups this week.
Someone in chat, Zeke, you are the laziest asset.
Always. Those are arbitrary, man. I swear to God, most of those are just fucking arbitrary.
Yeah, they are a little arbitrary. I would sometimes get that, but it was so funny when I would play with y'all, because when I would watch when I was not playing on, like, I think you guys did a group on Tuesday, which are my day off. So I watched you guys play, and I was like, man, they're not living. And it's because no one stayed back at the ship, which is what I generally did whenever we played together. And why we were so much more, I just go watch the 3 other people die and be like, well, time to get the fuck off this planet.
Time for me. No, he's not moving. He's not moving. Oh, there's the vote. Time to go.
Yeah, time to go. Time to go. And so it's been a fun, I think everyone, even if you're like a super against scary games, you can still have fun sitting in the ship, watching all of your friends, and even like coaching them and telling them where to go. So if you're afraid of that type of stuff, there's still a place for you. Don't let it shy you away. It's good fun. It's good fun. Moving forward, Cody, you done with WoW? How's the classic WoW going?
No, Classic WoW has slowed down, but honestly, the reason it's slowed down is because no one's playing Classic WoW anymore.
That's right. Yeah.
It's been the big problem is it's been SOD, man. It's been SOD. I tried to log on for like probably 4 or 5 days in a row, like sat down to do a stream to log on. The problem is I remember you specifically asking me, like, can't wait to hear what happens when you get to the time when it's like grind out a level. Well, turns out I hate grinding in Warcraft. Turns out I absolutely hate it. Grinding in EverQuest for me was so different because you set up in one place and it's much more about just hanging out with a group of people. And you know, like grinding in EQ is very different because it's more of a social thing.
Right.
But grinding in WoW is like this weird, boring, lonely thing. It's just like, it's not
very lonely.
It's not the same. It doesn't feel anything that I thought I would like it because I'm an EQ player, but it's nothing like that. So it became a little harder. So what I would do is I would log in. I would see if anyone was on to do a dungeon because I did a dungeon. Canute.
Oh, you did one.
Jumped
Nice.
on one night. Canute jumped on and he was like, "Hey, do you want to do a dungeon?" And I was like, "Well, I'm pretty worried about this. Like, I don't know if I want to do a dungeon." He goes, "No, there's this guy named Hot Form. Used to be a big Hearthstone streamer. He now is like one of, you know, hangs out with Canute. And he's like, he's really good at WoW. Lead us through it." So I was like really nervous because I don't want to die, but I was like, sure, I'll do it. Ended up having a blast with them. The Hot Form guy was awesome. He knew exactly what we get to a fight and he'd explain every mechanic and what to do and all this stuff. He was
What
great in his
dungeon
class.
did you do?
Razorfen Downs.
Oh, okay, cool.
And it was great. I had a great time. And most importantly, I got like 4 loot upgrades and like freaking 75% of a level. I almost wish I didn't do it because then it made logging in and looking at that grind be like, nope, not doing that. I want to do a dungeon.
Sure.
Like I absolutely don't want to grind for 3 hours. I want to do a dungeon with some friends for an hour and have more fun, get more loot, and have it be so the issue is that I would log in, no one would be playing around my level. I even looked in public chats on a hardcore server. I was that desperate
Yeah.
to not do grinding. And I was, but even then, like no one around was doing it. So the short of it is I'm kind of like, I'm trying to get in like an hour of grinding here and there. I'm trying to just get through the levels. Cause what I did is I skipped the grind out this level and I kept doing quests. And now I'm to a point with my quests where I'm not high enough level to accept them.
Oh man.
So I can't keep going.
Yeah.
I'm like way behind.
So the reason that all
I'm in too deep.
The reason it has you grind, and I'm sure you know this, is the zones that you're about to enter in 50 plus are like fucking terrifying. Like they have so much random bullshit that can occur that you want to be the highest level possible. So most of those.
Well, and not only that, I can't get a lot of the quests.
Yeah, and you
like,
can't
I just
accept
can't
them.
get them.
True.
I can't even accept them. So it's Yeah, it kind of sucks. So I'm 44. I made it to 44.
Oh yeah, that's the worst. That's
which
where
is
it
the
starts.
worst. Yeah, and the problem is, here's the thing.
What's max?
If
60.
60.
Okay.
If a lot of people were playing, if the server was active, like the server now has such a completely different feel than it did pre-SOD.
Yep.
I like, even in the times that I played out in the wild, I barely see any people anymore. Like it's literally just me running around, where I used to see people everywhere.
Yeah.
And nobody talks in our guild chat, just like I'm sure most guilds on the server. And it doesn't say anything to do about OnlyFans. It's just everyone else is still playing SOD. And the problem is I have this concerning feeling that the server had this huge exodus of players, and SOD doesn't really. SOD is Season of Discovery, the new classic thing they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no predefined end for SOD. So my concern is I think a lot of people are going to do what I'm already seeing, where people come back to the server because they're done with their SOD playthrough, see that the server is not like they left it, and then they leave. And that's -1 player that will probably log in again. And that's just going to keep happening hundreds to thousands of times per day. And there's a very good possibility that SOD kind of killed the server.
Potentially, yeah.
So, yeah, like the initial thinking was that, oh, SOD is going to come out and everyone's going to go play SOD. And then when they're done, they're going to come back. But the problem is people aren't coming back. The problem is they're finishing SOD, coming back and seeing the server's empty, and they're not really finding a lot of people. Some people are, don't get me wrong. Some people are coming back, and more power to them. They're even trying to encourage others to come back. But like, there's a lot of, I've even seen streamers talk about it, where they're like, yeah, I'm kind of done with SOD, but I went back to hardcore, and there's like no one there now. So I'm just going to, they say, I'm going to wait until people are back. But it's like everyone's saying that.
Right.
So it's like, what's going to happen when,
Well,
the way that I've always used to compare MMOs in the past is that it's kind of like a fire burning inside you. And if that fire goes out, it's really hard to relight it. Like if you lose that momentum
that's a
in an
great
MMO,
way to think of it. Yeah.
yeah, it's really hard to rekindle that flame. And my concern is that SOD has extinguished a lot of people's hardcore flame. So that being said, Soda has like I think he announced a guild meeting or something soon. They're going to start raiding. So, I mean, the 60 players and stuff are going to keep playing, which is honestly one of the reasons that I may keep leveling my guy here and there. Because it's funny. Soda, last thing I'll say, I know I'm talking a lot about WoW here. Soda was like, yeah, we want everyone by this level at this time. And I was like, oh man, I'm going really slow. I'm playing other games. I understand you're probably going to kick a bunch of people. Do you want me to head out? Like, I don't want to, be an anchor or anything. And he goes, oh dude, no, you just level at your own pace. Everyone's going to die. And we're going to need new people. he's like, don't worry, man. Like there's going to be lots of deaths when we start raiding. And it's fine. You just take it at your own pace. And by the time you get there, there'll probably be a space. So I was like, cool. All right. That's great.
Yeah,
so I'm still going, but yeah, it's a very, as I've said many times, I'm not really playing WoW for WoW. I'm playing it because a lot of people I like are playing it, and the server was really active, and it was this really fun experience, and a big part of that's missing now.
Totally.
So no, the hardcore means like one death, your new character,
one and done.
You got it. If my character dies, then he can no longer log into this server.
Yeah.
Man, raids seem like.
Yeah.
Fucking like super sweaty.
Oh, the whole thing is very sweaty. Yeah.
There was a couple weeks ago, there was a half a raid wipe, and literally thousands and thousands of hours were lost in the course of 3 minutes.
Yep. Yeah. Zeke, it was so traumatizing traumatizing, not a word. I was so reluctant to group that I went 1 to 60 completely solo in hardcore. And just anytime someone was like, hey, you want to do a dungeon? Because you get messages, like the game is social, and the fact that people not even in our little like OnlyFans guild are actively looking for people to do groups, because level 60s can't do non-60 dungeons with people other than level 60s. So you can't like take a level 60 into a lower level dungeon and like power level them through, I don't think is how it works. And so I would just get random questions from people on the server, and it's like, no, I don't want to do this dungeon with you because I have no idea who you are. I have no idea what you're going to do in this dungeon. I don't trust you at all. I'm so sorry, random stranger. And I just like kept leveling by myself.
Dude, I'm just thinking like how that like.
That's the reason I've already done it.
It's become super exclusionary.
Oh,
because
100%.
like, how the fuck?
Well, dude,
you don't want to teach anyone the dungeon. Like, do you know this back and forth? Like,
Oh,
you know
100%.
it so well that you could do it with your eyes closed. That's the only way you're coming with us.
There's a streamer named Poke, and he went into a dungeon with Soda, and they both know the game back and forth. And they brought in a public mage, a pub mage. And when they were doing a pull, the mage wasn't paying attention. And a patrol group came in, pulled an extra group of ads, and Poke lost his level 60 warlock.
One of the best geared warlocks in the guild.
Yep, one of the best geared warlocks in the guild. Because this public player they decided to do the dungeon with was not paying attention, essentially.
Yeah.
And then a cacophony of errors happened after that. But but that was the impetus.
Well, that's
if he had been paying attention, they would not have been in that situation.
That's the other thing too that's really crazy, Zeke, about the whole hardcore aspect and streaming it as content creators. If you die or you're in a group where someone dies, you gotta, like, your mental level has to be rock solid, because the next 24 hours you are going to get fucking destroyed by every part of the internet on what you did wrong in that particular situation. I've seen it happen so many times.
Yep. I got one of my viewers killed while fishing. I got another guy killed at level 42 because of a pull that I tried to save him, to be fair. But yeah, it sucks, man.
That's like, what is the average time to get to 60?
It took me 146
Depends on
hours.
if you're boosted, but generally
Are
100
you
hours.
fucking kidding me? And you want to, like, oh my
God. No, I don't. I want, so
no, people do. Not you, the people, players. Want to.
And let's make it clear. JP leveled quickly.
Yeah, I was rather quick in that
fast.
regard.
Yeah. He was fast.
No,
I probably had the same amount of playtime as him at 44
hours. Like 140 hours on a piece of art, and then someone walks through and it's just like, so the punk, and knocks it over, just breaks it all over the ground, and you're just like, you want to kill that person,
dude. It's so a huge streamer, Emiru, has died 4 times at this point. She just died most recently at level 58. I think she might have been 59. And she was in a level 60 dungeon with other level 60s. And the level 60s that were with her, when she died, it was like I was watching the husk of a person after the fact, because they felt so bad initially as the tank, but they also then had to deal with the internet just coming at them from all forbs. And like they were sitting there on stream like, I guess I got to delete my character. Like what do I?
Can you res in the moment?
That was there are ways to not die, but it's
once your HP hits 0, that character can never be revived, cannot resurrect. They are done. You can actually log back in onto the server dead. Apparently, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you just run around as a ghost.
But you are done. Yeah, you can no longer progress or interact with the world or anything like that.
Yeah, so
you are done. So
that's why I don't want to do. I was like super gung ho for raiding and doing all those dungeons, and then hitting 60 and like seeing the reactions of people, dude. Like if I was in a group and it was my fault of getting someone killed, I don't think I would have the mental to handle that. Like it is a barrage. It is, you have never understood unless you're in that situation.
Listen, if it was me, like it would be like a fucking 80s movie Rocky style montage of me just like watching clips of the raids and like, gonna need a montage, cast that spell, then you wait for the cooldown and you gotta get it there in a montage.
Yeah, they're trying. I mean, the raid's supposed to happen soon, but yeah, God, it's gonna be a nightmare. I worry for whoever it is that has the blame fall on them, because it could honestly be like a career ender as a streamer. the form of hate that you will receive could stick with you for a very, very, very long time.
Okay, I will give you a tip. If this is you and
it
you're
sounds
afraid,
so serious.
Dude, it's life or death.
Be the one who dies. If you're afraid that you're going to be the one who dies, a good tip that works psychologically: get pissed off at somebody else immediately, even if it's all your fault. blame, like shift that blame immediately to somebody else.
That happens.
They weren't doing their job. I'm so mad. You can't be mad at me because I'm mad.
The people that have died, there's never any of that at all. It's always viewers that start the blame game.
The problem is that everyone knows that everything they've been doing has just been watched, recorded, and broadcast.
Yes.
So it's like, yeah, sure, you could do that, but you're just going to look like an idiot later when they prove to you via multiple YouTube videos
yes.
that it was completely your fault.
It's a content factory at this point. Like someone dies,
The live
that clip goes across the entire service. It's crazy.
Because you know in those animes when there's like the brilliant strategist commander character and he pushes up his glasses and the light goes across them? Every single time one of these deaths get posted to LSF, about 15 forum post guys do that. And so here's what happened. When the cooldown fired off, if you watch the, you see how they were spamming that hotkey there. So that didn't trigger this, which meant they couldn't do this. But see, this guy was supposed to do that. Paragraphs of analysis. It's like an esports commentator. Like the whole thing gets broken down into like, you don't even need to play WoW and you would know exactly how that person died.
Yeah, man.
So I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I've learned so much from those.
A lot of deaths, a lot of big death clips
deaths
out there. So yeah.
I gotta imagine there's at least a couple people who are like got like cats or something like that. It's like a cat like wanted lovin's, and you're just like, I love you so much, but you can't do this right now.
Dimitri almost got me killed twice.
Yeah.
At one point, I was running from a mob, and my cat jumped and landed firmly on the middle of my USB hub, which my keyboard was connected to. So my keyboard started turning on and off while I was getting hit by a mob.
Oh,
and yeah, oh god, it was, my heart was racing. And what I did is I had to wait until it was on for a fraction of a second and drop a taunt thing, one of the taunt totems. And then,
dude.
yeah.
So that was the other thing.
I'm talking about you.
Sorry,
He's just cleaning himself. That was the other thing.
He loved it.
I didn't use any of those when I leveled, and I felt really dumb when I hit 60. And it wasn't a point of pride; it was a point of like, God, I'm a fucking moron. I made this so much more difficult. There was one time where it was either I resist this spell, or it hits me and I die. Had I had just had those things you just talked about, Co, I would have been completely fine. But I left it up to a fucking roll of the dice, and luckily I resisted and lived. And it was just like,
oh man.
So do they give you like a little bit of help? Like have it like the first level 60 dungeon is not super hard, or is it just?
Yeah, I mean it's exactly like there's no changes to the game to help.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
It's just a rule set for the vanilla game.
Yeah, it is what it is. So if you're level 60 and you walk off an elevator, you bug through a floor, you bug through the world, and you take falling damage and die, you're dead.
I can't even imagine, like, because I mean I haven't played it for a long time, but I for a good solid year and a half, that was all I played. And I can't even imagine how many times I accidentally died.
Yeah, 100%.
Like,
I saw
140 hours from an accidental, like, whoops, I walked off a cliff or something.
I watched Co playing Sod and walked into Undercity for the first time, and you take the elevator in
Immediately
Undercity,
died.
and you can clip through the elevator or just miss it and die from fall damage.
I'd like to say that was my first death in World of Warcraft in 18 years.
Yeah. But it's so simple.
My only one so far.
Yeah. Zeke, here's one of the biggest killers. Zeke,
Yeah, go ahead.
Is a cockroach. The little neutral cockroaches in dungeons, because if you fear them or if they get a debuff and they run, they will aggro other mobs in the dungeon and then come to you, and they will like basically train the dungeon on you.
Oh my god.
And so there are mods that when a cockroach is aggroed or near, it flashes on your screen like, hey, kill the fucking bug, kill the cockroach.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So, like, and Anthony died. Anthony Kongfan died because of a cockroach, because it got aggroed.
I don't know if this is a one guy, but someone in my chat, Gage, said to put into perspective, only 15% of players even make it to 60.
That sounds high to me, but yeah, it makes sense. It's, I mean, the
And
first,
you like, I remember you would Hearthstone out.
yeah,
Can you do that?
you
Yeah,
can
but
still
I mean, there's a
Hearthstone.
long cast time that can be interrupted.
Yeah, it could be.
There are
overlooked.
tricks, and there's lots of tricks that people do. So like you can have target dummies. There's potions, of course. There's different. There's lots of ways to do it. But I mean, again, everything happens so quickly that I mean, a lot of times you just or you're AFK or you're not paying attention. You know, like it's lots and lots.
Well,
of,
that
Dude, it's gotta be like a real battle. Like you gotta someone's gonna sound the retreat. Like that's 2 people down. We gotta get the fuck out of here. Everybody for themselves.
that's what happens to Emiru, or that's what happened to Emiru in her latest death that I was talking about with another streamer, the streamer called Flask, and so there's a flask of petrification, or maybe that's not the actual name of it, but it makes your character take no damage for a minute. And so when you do that, you leave group, Zeke, and it drops you out of group. And so the auto hearth comes up. And so you just sit there, not able to take damage for a minute, and then it ports you out. And so that's like the trick. If a pull goes bad, you flask. The pull went bad. Amy was trying to hit her flask or something and just didn't do it. And so everyone else flask, all the mobs went to Amy and she just died. And so everyone just sits there then for a minute in kind of silence, just like the horrors that they have seen. So it's the whole thing's
do a 21 firebolt salute.
Yeah. When I hit 60, the literal first thing I did was Hearth, and I have not left Stormwind since. Because I also burnt out. I mean, that was 140 hours in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And so I was
You did a lot.
I was playing nonstop WoW, which I don't have any interest in playing WoW at the moment. But
does PvP count, like PvP deaths or anything?
Yeah, you can get PvP
like
flagged.
In the arena and stuff?
And no. So it's a PvE server, but there are ways to get PvP flagged. And if you get PvP flagged, someone can kill you and you are dead.
Oh wow!
Forever. So
I had to log out and run multiple times because I accidentally would they're little mobs that patrol in some zones, and if they attack you, you get flagged.
Yeah.
So like at one point, I'm just running around. You know, some guy aggroes me, and I run off, and I look over, and chat is literally screaming at me like, "Log out, get out!" Actually, most were saying to Hearth because apparently if you log out, you stay in the game for a little bit of time, and people can come and get you if you're flagged. So. It was yeah. So that was a thing. Was a thing.
There's also Zeke. There's also a thing called Mot Gora, which is a duel to the death. And so sometimes people will just duel you, and if you lose the duel, your character dies and it's gone forever.
You have to duel them?
No, you don't have to, but they can come up and like Mot Gora you, and that is a duel to the death. And people do that at level 60. They just walk up. It's like,
hey, listen,
you want to fucking go?
I've been around some fucking degenerate gamblers, so I understand that.
Yeah,
I understand that completely.
Yeah,
like the money isn't the value; the fact that you win.
That's right.
When stakes are actually stakes matter.
That's right. Yeah. That's WoW. I'm sure. I'm sure it's not done yet. Saga is still like popping off on Twitch and. Was kind of carrying Twitch, I would say, for the end of November. World of Warcraft was for the end of November and early December. But
I'm kind of hoping that Soda streaming the hardcore raids and stuff again may bring some folks back. But we'll see, man.
It will, I think.
Hoping so.
That's what it reminds me of. The Mot Gora that you described reminded me of Racing for Pinks, like the ownership of the opposing car.
Yeah.
It's like it's stakes it matters.
One of the games where people might have gone towards this past week, as it kind of it quite literally came out of nowhere and surprised the hell out of everyone, is this game right here. Lego Fortnite. This thing's been averaging like 2 million players every single day, no matter when you log in. I've played it. It's fucking great. Like, it really is actually a genuinely fantastic game.
This seems like someone who plays WoW hardcore would be like, man, I need to relax.
Dude, it's fantastic. And it was the most bizarre thing is you have to download Fortnite to play it. And I still haven't coped with that.
That's what my lady said. She's like, I want to play Lego Fortnite, but I guess I got to get Fortnite. I'm like,
dude,
sounds about
right. The most read phrase. Sorry, I can't talk. that I've seen this past week is like, I guess I'm downloading Fortnite again, right? Because like, it's not only this. There's this and also 2 other games that launched within Fortnite as part of their like Robloxification of the Fortnite brand. That is a game within a game. They knocked it out of the park with this. It's absolutely fantastic. It's a full-fledged survival game. It's got dungeons in it. It's got bosses. It's got tons of building. It has the Tears of the Kingdom situation to where people are building giant fucking airships now. They've built monorails within the game. They're just like these incredible, like kind of, you know, we say Tears of the Kingdom now, but really Minecraft was the originator of all this type of stuff. And that's what this game is trying to emulate.
I've heard it's like Minecraft 2.
Minecraft
like,
2.
Spiritually.
Yeah. And like you can do so much in it. And it's absolutely fantastic. And has been holding like 2 million plus within the game, eclipsing almost everything else.
It could be so much better.
How could it be so much better? Let's hear it.
QL's terrible.
Why would you guys say it's like Valheim? Why would you say that?
It is a little
I don't really go in for Lego games, but if it's like
Did you
Valheim,
play it, Co?
like
Yeah, my boys have been liking it.
Okay.
So
yeah,
I've been
what's the
playing
QL?
with my kids.
I want to hear. I'm curious.
The QL, you can't sort your inventory.
There's no inventory.
like
there's a merge,
initial,
but there's no sort, which is really
no,
weird.
There's no sort. There's like 4 important QL things in survival games, and it's missing like 3 of them. Like it's the QL.
good, I don't have to play it
It
then.
sucks.
okay.
I would have expected it. I would have expected it to be a lot better. I think it would have been a lot. I mean, it's already wildly popular, so it's not like it would have made that big of a difference. But after playing it for a while, it's definitely lots of little frustrating things about it. But the game itself is awesome.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's still
They could always
really,
add it.
really cool.
I would be surprised if they don't add a sword because you're 100% correct. Do you know?
Everyone loves it except Co. I'm just saying it could be better. That's
No,
all.
I've heard those criticisms.
I always
everywhere.
critique games I love.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, I've heard those criticisms that Co said everywhere.
Still fun, and I'm still playing. I'm playing it tonight with my boys.
Yeah,
So,
it's good.
My oldest kid Rowan really enjoys it.
The other 2 things that they also added into Fortnite, I have not played them. Rocket Racing, which is made by the Rocket League devs because Epic owns them, and apparently that's pretty good. Haven't heard any complaints. I don't know if it's as wildly successful as the Lego survival aspect, but I've heard it's good. And then the third one, because Epic owns Harmonix, they built Rock Band in Fortnite. And
I didn't know that.
It has it has a weekly rotating song list from very popular musical artists. They were asked if they have any plans to support legacy controllers. And the answer is yes, chat. The answer is yes. Rock Band apparently just makes both of them wildly upset. I was going to tell Zeke to go to the restroom when we talk about PoE. But he left.
Sorry.
He left before.
Get a drink.
He left before. Yeah. No, you're fine. But yeah, they got Rock Band in there.
Cool.
With legacy support for like old Rock Band drums and controllers and guitars, potentially on the way.
Do I still have those?
You should. If not, you should find them because they sell for a lot these days because they don't make them anymore. So, yeah, Fortnite's doing well. Zeke, I'm glad you're back. Me and Co are about to talk about Path of Exile. It's a brand new.
Fucking knew it. I knew it.
Well, I was gonna do it right after this, and then he just left to use the rest. I was gonna say.
You know that feeling when you leave the dinner or like at a restaurant, you leave the dinner table, go to the bathroom, go have a smoke, whatever, and come back and your dinner's there. This is the opposite of that.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Like, I came back just in time. Oh.
Path of Exile has the new league out. It's more PoE. Co, I might have misspoke to you last night when I said no one was upset with the league.
You said there were a few.
There was a few, but to be honest, I'd been playing so much that I wouldn't say that I was necessarily in tune with the community. People are definitely upset, and they're upset at the league because just like every other PoE league, The mobs are tuned to the fucking wazoo and just straight up one-shot you in a lot of situations. There's so many examples of the mobs being so wildly overtuned in a not fun way. And so once they fix that, my chat is saying they nerfed them already. I didn't realize a hotfix went out. So they apparently nerfed them in the past 12 hours. It's still really strong, but maybe they're not one-shotting. Steel Mage died today post-nerf. Oof. Okay. There's been 3x nerfs already. Very, very crazy tuned mobs. That being said, I really enjoy the League content, and it's more PoE. They added like 100 different gems of existing skills code that kind of changed a lot of stuff. So if you're looking to jump into PoE, it seems like a good Christmas League. You can play, and we don't really have to spend any more time on that because it's more PoE at the end of the day. If you play PoE, you're already playing PoE ultimately. And if you haven't played PoE in a while, might be a good time to jump back in. I'll be playing more after the stream today. So you want to talk a little bit Rogue Trader? I need to know how to scale.
Sure. Give me just a second.
Done with it. I was waiting to use it.
Oh no, I'm quick. I'm Jeff Keighley approved.
Shit, dude, nice.
Yeah.
Damn,
Rogue
Keighley, take
Trader.
some notes, buddy.
Rogue Trader, how is it? You said it was buggy. Do you believe that? Like
It is. It has been. One sec. Sorry, somebody linked me that scene from that movie from earlier.
Crash? I did.
Wait, what scene from what? Oh, from Annihilation. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the bear clip.
Yeah, the bear.
You're supposed to watch that after the show, but whatever.
Oh, sorry, I was.
Ko doesn't know what that means, Zeke.
Okay. Anyways, whoa, that's enough of that. Oh, well, she's not going to be talking much
Terrifying,
anymore.
right?
Anyway.
Yeah.
So that's a thing.
That bear.
Yeah.
Sucks.
So Rogue Trader. Rogue Trader is there's things that make this absolutely phenomenal and things that don't. So there in terms of game breaking bugs, there have been a lot of game breaking bugs that I'm not getting. There's been people that have been reporting a lot of crashing, a lot of issues that are preventing them from continuing their game, and we haven't really seen any patching or anything yet. Granted, it came out like a few days ago. But I have not hit any of those, and overall, like, this game is in many ways absolutely incredible. The writing is top notch. There's tons of stuff everywhere. The character customization is like bonkers deep. The combat is incredibly visceral and feels great. The voice acting when it's there is awesome. All of your companions
when it's there. Okay.
All the companions are like fully voice acted for their when you talk to them on the ship and their side quests and things like that. But the problem is like almost no one else is. And there is a huge amount of reading in this game. Like huge amount. And the problem is the reading is phenomenal. The writing is phenomenal. Like what the people are saying is great. It is such a cool, unique, interesting world. But man, like I've been streaming this game for 3 days now, and it is definitely getting to the point where it's like this is becoming a lot. Like my throat's starting to hurt like all the time, and it's basically become a reading stream. It is a very, very hard game to stream, and if the game was not as amazingly engaging as it is, I probably would not be doing it. But it is an awesome game. Like if you're a CRPG fan, I really could not recommend this game more. If you don't mind reading, it is awesome. May want to wait for a few patches, especially if you are one of I would read up a little bit on who's exactly experiencing these major crashing bugs, because those seem to be pretty bad, and make sure you're not susceptible to that.
Is it hardware based or
I have no idea.
Okay.
I'm not experiencing it, and every moment I can do anything with it, I am playing it. So I'm loving it. I've had a few, like, there have been bugs in my playthrough. There's one specific ability that I use every time that like sometimes doesn't work. Sometimes, rarely, abilities like the tooltip may not be proper or may not fully say what it does.
Okay.
There's little things here and there, but not nearly as many bugs as like Wrath of the Righteous, and not even on the same playing field as their first game, Kingmaker, in terms of how many. It is a relatively solid project or product for me so far, which has been great. But I will say I'm fundamentally addicted to it. I'm loving every second I'm in on it. I've played it now 20-ish hours. I've only done one ship battle so far, and I still have barely scratched the surface. I don't even have every member of my party yet. And there's been some major decisions. There's seemingly hundreds of interesting items, lots of different ways to play. It is a very, very awesome game for RPG fans.
Would you say
There are things about this game I already like better than Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, really? That's a bold statement. Please.
Yep.
What are they?
This game has arguably the best item QOL I've ever seen in a CRPG.
What is
In terms of managing your inventory, picking up loot, and things of that nature, it is incredible. Every single bit of loot you pick up and can be either put on your character or put into something called the cargo system. And the idea is every bit of loot you want, you can just stash on your giant ship whenever you want, however you want to do it. And it then adds up into cargo pods, which you can then really easily trade to different factions to get faction. And then you have this like ever-present number called I think it's called your profit factor. And as you get faction with people, your profit factor allows you to basically just take items from them. So the idea behind the inventory and the commerce system of this game is you are so rich and you function on such a different level that just your ability to purchase something allows you to take it. And so when you unlock a new faction level with the merchant and he has like 5 or 6 items, if your profit factor is high enough, you just right click on those items and you get them.
Damn. Okay.
And your profit factor doesn't go down. You've just qualified to get them.
That's
and you
sick.
get that faction and unlock it by being meticulous and looting everything and storing up these cargoes and then giving them the cargo to raise their reputation. And it's a very interesting system.
Hi there.
Hold on.
I see you got a lot of stuff here. Have you thought about joining our gold card club members?
Pretty much. And then you level up your gold club membership by giving them stuff, and then they give you more stuff. Yeah.
That's one take, but the other take is that Ko's finally being rewarded for his loot horness. that's what I'm hearing
100%.
is that Ko is like, this game rewards me.
And the best
For
part is
looting everything.
literally things I wanted in Baldur's Gate 3 are in this game. At any point, you can right click an item and just select it to always be added to cargo. And at that point, anytime you get into the future, it's just gone. Every time it goes to cargo, that item's just gone. It's like auto sold at that point.
Wow.
So you only get to put in your inventory what you might want to put on your characters at a later time. Your inventory has no weight, infinite spots. You can carry as much as you want of everything you want. Like it again,
that was a question I was going to ask. Yep.
It's one of the best QL systems I've ever seen in a game like this.
That's great.
Side note,
yeah.
That is in public and in group meetings, group games or whatever. I'm going to refer to Ko as your Hornus now. Yes, your Hornus.
Please do. Yes, your loot Hornus. Just to clarify that a little bit. I mean, I am a man whore. But
okay.
Yeah.
Let's make it specific.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm sorry.
But yeah,
Hornus.
on top of that, there is an entire ship management system and a turn-based ship combat, which is a turn-based real-time ship combat system. So you have to like move your ship a minimum amount of spaces, and you have like broadsides and cannons and like all sorts of different things, and you have to like you're constantly doing this dance of like circling each other with the other ships and taking them out and stuff. You can assign your companions to the ship to get different abilities and add different things to your ship. I've only done one of those fights. I haven't even scratched the surface. There's a whole planetary management portion I haven't even gotten to yet. You can put up mining and stuff on planets.
Planetary management?
This game is vast. It is, like I said, it's like an RPG, it's like a 40K RPG dream. It's crazy.
Yeah,
and then on top of this, all the companions are cool. They all have interesting things going on. The main story is pretty freaking badass. There's major decisions frequently that you can tell are like, at one point at the beginning of the game, you have to decide if you want to freaking exterminate a planet. It's crazy cool.
Huh,
it's crazy cool. Yeah, it's great.
So the 40K is deep then in this.
The Grimdark is deep.
Okay.
This game bleeds 40K. The combat is awesome. I mean, like one of my favorite characters has a bolter. And you can charge it up so her burst has 9 shots. You like point her at a group of enemies, and she's just going, and enemies are literally exploding in blood clouds, and she's getting bonuses for every one of them. Heads are flying and arms are flying off and stuff. Set people on fire, poison. Psychers can do all sorts of crazy stuff. Like it's wild.
Are you only fighting? How is the enemy variety? Let's go with that question.
Been pretty good so far. You're fighting a lot of other people. You're fighting a lot of the agents of chaos. I haven't really gotten to a point yet where like I would be able to do other stuff. Yeah, there is. I know for a fact from the beta I played that there's like monsters and things of that nature. But you're constantly fighting other people. They're always kind of looking different in theme to their area. So I have at no point been like, oh, these guys again.
Okay.
You know, like it's all, you're always kind of fighting the things of that area or that kind of stuff. You're constantly fighting new things, named enemies that have their own abilities. The build system is so kind of vast that like whenever you fight a unique enemy, the first thing you got to do is right click on them and look at their skills. Cause 9 times out of 10, they've got something crazy unique going on to themselves. Like just fought a guy today and he like this monster warped out of a void. And I walk up and hit it when I first got it. It does no damage. And I'm like, oh, that's great. Look at it. It's like you're immune to damage for 2 turns and has like all sorts of other stuff that I never even heard of before. And, you know, it's definitely in that regard, it's like a serious, you know, lots of different types of encounters, CRPG kind of thing.
Awesome.
But mostly human enemies so far. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Human-esque and some chaos here and there.
I got a 2-hour sponsored stream for it. Am I going to get outside of the character creation in that 2 hours tomorrow?
I had a good idea about what I wanted to do.
Yeah, I think I do too. That's why I'm worried that it might
Took me an hour.
Ah, shit.
I will say this. If you give this game the time, it will reward you in kind.
Okay.
This is not a Baldur's Gate 3 where it's going to keep your options relatively, like Baldur's Gate 3 feels a little basic in some ways, especially as you start getting to prestige classes than this game.
Sure.
Like the perk list that you get, your main talent perk list, I think is 50 plus selections.
Damn.
Maybe around that. Chat, help me out here. Like 30 to 50 plus, I'd say, depending on your class.
How is like the game?
The way that it works, by the way. It's based on tabletop, which has undergone a lot of balancing, and then Pathfinder has a lot of experience getting Pathfinder over. So I have heard, of course, there's like crazy powerful builds and stuff. Especially as you start, so the way that it works is there's 4 base classes: officer, soldier, operative, and one more that is escaping me. But there's 4 base classes, and then the way that it works is there's 7 warrior. Thank you. There's 7 prestige classes, and every base class has access to 3 of those 7, and then they all come back into like this one ultimate class that I know nothing about. So like depending on how you and then on top of that, every character has like a world that they're from, and then like a background, and those also give you like super influential, like this is how I'm going to play my character abilities. So it's this weird like where you just kind of pick a class in other games and kind of go from there. This game is like an amalgamation of multiple different facets of your character to make your vision of what you want your character to be. So my character is from a hive world, and that gives him like the ability to like get more momentum and stuff from people around him. So they kind of keep around him. Then he's a noble, which means he can pick someone on my team and give him all sorts of buffs. It's called You Serve Me. And so like I can pick one person to do that. He's an officer. So that means that he's like, can give other people turns. He can buff other people. He has all sorts of stuff. And then he's a master tactician, which kind of plays into that. But then I wanted to spec him with weapons. So like I've been taking weapon perks and stuff throughout the line too. So a better way to play this game is not necessarily like look at the classes and kind of pick one. It's more of think to yourself, what do I want him to be like?
Right.
And then there will be probably things you can take to kind of play into that vision of what you want it to be. Okay. So it's a much more customizable system, I should say, which is really, really cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Any idea how long it is?
I have no clue.
Okay.
But I'm guessing,
100-ish
especially
hours.
at the way that I'm playing it, 100 plus hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
and also you can respec too. So don't get too scared about like picking wrong options.
Like full respec?
I've already respected multiple characters. Yeah.
Oh,
like from they take you back to where you got them. Every character has your character can go back to 0, but most characters go back to like a when you got them predefined thing, and then you can just go from there.
Awesome. For free, just whenever you want.
I have respected all my characters for free once.
Okay.
Actually, one character twice. But the weird thing is there is like some kind of currency on the screen that isn't familiar. I'm not really sure how that works.
Huh. Okay.
But and for the record, you cannot respect your origin or homeworld. So those are choices.
Oh, those stay. Okay.
So
that makes sense.
Those stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I am worried because we've been.
Oh, it is profit factor. Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. So it probably doesn't take it anyway. What are we saying?
I was saying I am a little worried because I was looking to see how long we've been on like a dialogue spree. I mean, this is a 30-minute VOD and 80% of it is you sitting in a dialogue tree.
There are times when you will be in one place for an hour.
Fuck, okay.
But I mean the dialogue is awesome. The writing is completely top notch, and it's still fun. Like it's still, you know.
Oh, I'm kidding.
That's gonna be me to all the characters in Rogue Trader.
Pretty much.
potentially.
They're one of the things that chat seems to be relatively receptive about is I don't know how fast you read, but one of the things I've been doing, especially when you come up to a character and it's like obvious that the whole character and writing is background lore, and you click that like continue button, and then all of a sudden you have like 7 different options and a giant paragraph on the left.
Yeah.
What I've been doing in those cases is I will silently quickly read the paragraph to myself, and if it's important, I will sum up whatever parts are important. But generally, I'll just say like, okay, that was a bunch of the background about where he's from. Let me click on this. All right, that's a little bit about what he's doing these days. Nothing new here. Let me do this. And chat's been pretty receptive about that, because a lot of times that change, it keeps the momentum of the stream up a little bit. Like a lot of times people aren't there to necessarily have me read to them. They want to see me actually play the RPG, because to be blunt, the combat's awesome. Combat is super visceral. It's very
That's
fun.
what I'm
lots
most
going on.
interested in,
Yeah, like the combat is great. So you know, and chat's been pretty cool about that. There are of course times when you're going to want to read every word. You know, major events, but those times are kind of obvious. You know?
Yeah. I think if anything, the whole like conversation of Baldur's Gate changing the gaming landscape, the one thing that it is spoiled and ruined for me is the fact that game is just all voiced. Like
I shudder to think
it's so
what
voiced.
This game would be like with fully voiced mocapped characters.
Well, it's impossible. There's no way that could happen.
But I will say this: if Warhammer,
Why?
because of the sheer depth, of what this game, I mean, just the amount that I put in so far, like to think about how many resources it would take to fully voice and mocap this game. I mean, one NPC you'll sit at for 15 minutes going through just paragraph after paragraph of information. Like to have that all be, you know, in a recording studio with a competent voice actor, being voice directed, then going through audio engineering to make sure it sounds right, fitting it into the world. Again, it doesn't make sense. I will say this though, and I'll say this straight up: if it was fully voiced and fully mocapped, I would be having a serious discussion right now about what would be getting Game of the Year between this and Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah. Okay. That says a lot for sure. And it makes sense given the track record for Owlcat, right? Like they've been doing the CRPGs.
I'm hoping that Owlcat is buckled down right now on getting these bugs, especially the major ones, put together, like, and fixed. But yeah, like, so, and again, I'm only 20-ish hours in. I got a long way to go. But I'm just saying, like, it's very, very cool. And as somebody who kind of prefers a dark tech atmosphere over a more fantasy one, just in general preference, I like sci-fi over fantasy in most cases. Like it gives a lot to offer to players that like this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Is that I'm actually, this question for you both. Is that your like end of year December game, you think, for the rest of the December?
Rogue Trader?
Yeah.
Yep, I'm probably that, a little bit more hardcore WoW, and I'm taking my time, man. I'm going every single place, talking to every single person. So I think I'll be playing this probably most of December. I mean, I've got like sponsor streams coming up, and you know, there's going to be stuff to break
other stuff,
that up a little bit. Yeah,
but like the fallback or the main
no,
game.
this will be my whenever I don't have something else to do, I'll be playing this game. For sure.
Yeah. Zeke, what about you? What's your like mainstay, as it were? No, I'm saying just in general. What's your mainstay? Not necessarily Rogue Trader.
Like Zeke's like, no, not that. Nope,
I ain't fucking touching that.
Ain't touching that shit.
Not
That's
on
for
stream.
nerds.
Yeah.
Disco Elysium was a writing masterpiece, and I could not play it until it got voiced. So
Yeah.
Me too.
Trader
Yeah, same way.
ain't happening.
Yeah.
No, I have a list. I have a list of games that I want to play before the end of the year show for us.
Oh, so this is all in anticipation of that. Okay, that makes sense.
Yep. I've got let's see, Zips Cafe, Ugly, Thirsty Suitors, Lords of the Fallen, Armored Core 6, Spider-Man 2, the Muller Powell Principle on my list thus far. And we'll see which ones actually get there, because I'm guessing one or two of those are going to be like Game games we wish we played.
Yeah, you only got so much time, right?
Probably Spider-Man 2 will be on that list because it's PlayStation only.
Oh, do you not have a PS5?
I have one.
You
I
just
have
don't?
one.
Okay.
But it's just like,
Good game.
it haul it out, dust it off, whatever.
It's not always plugged in.
I might just play it on my own time.
You unplugged your PS. Yeah. I'm saying play Spider-Man.
It's in my bedroom. So
Yeah. Play Spider-Man.
If I play it, I probably won't stream it.
Yeah, exactly. That makes total sense. I don't know. For me, I do want to jump back into to Lego. PoE's kind of got its hold on me. I was thinking potentially doing my first ever level 100 in PoE, but that's a lot of time. There's a lot of, and I did just grind out a shit ton in WoW, so not 100% sure what the rest of my my December looks like game wise, but there's fortunately a lot of stuff to play right now, more so than previous years. So, did you spill your drink?
I did.
Well, go clean that up.
I spilled my drink. Sorry, I had to.
I spilled
my
drink.
You have to. Zeke, what's Small Saga?
Oh, Small Saga. Oh, great. Small Saga is a straightforward turn-based RPG. But it has a ton of charm.
Okay.
The premise is you play as the main character that you play. It's a party-based thing, so you eventually get up to 4 party members. But the main character is a mouse who wields a Swiss Army knife as his anime oversized blade, because it's enormous. And it's charming. It actually has moments of really like funny moments. It has it's relatively, like, as far as JRPGs go.
Oh, you would classify it as a JRPG.
I mean, yeah, it's a party-based, turn-based battle game.
Okay.
With like stories and it's fairly linear. I mean, it is linear. I mean, you go through the story and you don't choices like in conversation didn't seem to matter a lot, but it's relatively short for this style of game. I personally completed it in 14 hours, but I'm guessing a regular playthrough was like 8, 9, maybe. I voiced all the characters myself, so that probably took up a ton of time. And I did a pretty bad Scottish accent for one of the characters that I wasn't sure was going to be there but he ended up being a party member, so I had to keep doing it, and I got better, but it never got good.
That's your own.
I'll just say that. But yeah, it's decent story. Good writing, good dialogue. A lot of different. There's a good amount of different environments, different places to go and travel and stuff like that. But it's just it's exactly what it's a small saga, and it's a story of redemption for a mouse who his small spoiler for the very beginning of the game. Okay, you don't want to hear it, don't listen.
Right. Okay.
The very beginning of the game, it's a revenge story because the main character's brother sacrifices himself to let you live, so you can escape.
Oh, okay.
They are, and it's his story of trying to find the yellow god, which gods are us humans, to the animal kingdom, to the small animal kingdom. Titans are the big animals, like your house cats, your dogs, your that kind of stuff. Those are called Titans.
Okay.
In this world, gods are humans, and it's your revenge story trying to go back and revenge your brother against this yellow god. And the reason why he's called the yellow god is because he was fumigating a place, so he had his yellow hazmat garb.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. But it's really good. The music in the game is fucking phenomenal. It has no fucking right being as good as it is. But I'm not just talking about you can go into a tavern and apparently this dude's a real musician. They use his actual name, Kofi. I'm not sure how to say it, Kofi Coffee. But you go into a tavern and he has 3 songs to pick from, and all 3 of them just bangers. They're all different moods, different thing, but and they fit the scene, they fit the like, you know, the medieval kind of like feeling of the thing. But not only that, not only they're like individual songs, but like the battle music is excellent. And when you get like each one of the characters in your party, they have like a solo part where you're like getting to learn them, like not only their battle mechanics, but also their story, their history, their lore, or whatever. They have their own like individual song, and all of them are just really perfect and really well done.
Huh.
That was one of the huge standouts of the game. Was the music is just great, and it doesn't get like in a lot of RPG games, like some of the music gets like super repetitive, but they change it up enough, and the game is short enough where it doesn't get like, you know, like annoyingly earwormy, like whatever. Even if it's a great song, like the Baldur's Gate like opening song, even a great song can be too much. No, I love it, but after the 170th time, I'm just like, yeah. God, JP, stop it, JP.
Be very
It's
careful.
good. I'm not saying it's not good.
Be
I'm saying
very
anything.
careful with your words.
Too much of anything is not good. But
I'll let Sven will show up with his fucking suit of armor on and beat your ass, Zeke. He'll do it.
Yeah.
We've got him on speed dial.
down by the river.
He can make a stop from California. You know, he flies right over you. It's just one more stop before he goes back.
But yeah, it's just a great little JRPG. I had a ton of fun playing it. It is, let's see. I'm not sure if it's a single developer, but it's in the Steam page. It says developer, publisher, Dario Nagani. It's just one name. So maybe it is a single developer. It came out November 16th, and it's $20. $20.
If you didn't see the screen, we were stuck on dialogue. This is the combat. I like the combat camera. That's cool. Also,
stylish.
That spider is terrifying. I hope you killed it. Yeah, not a fan of that.
I do.
Yeah.
I do kill it. In fact.
Oh, I like the little Swiss Army knife. This game looks kind of cute, kind of cool.
Well, and everybody in my party is equipped with god weapons, meaning things that we took from the human world, like my Swiss Army knife. The mage mole has a Bic lighter. It's like
it's clever.
I don't remember what it calls it, but yeah, everybody has like the squirrle has a flute made out of a pencil.
Nice.
The red hooded lady has a scalpel.
It's clever.
A pole.
She calls her halberd.
I like it. That's good. That's good.
That's what she calls it. Yeah. But yeah, it's just a fun little treat of a game.
Cool.
With amazing music.
Okay. That is Small Saga. What else you been playing, Zeke? Anything outside of the indie Saturdays that's been like a mainstay on your channel?
I actually wanted to talk about. I picked up for the very first time. It's a 10-year-old game that's still in early access, but I picked it up for the first time, and I played it for 4 hours, 7 Days to Die.
Oh yeah.
Hey, nice.
That game's great.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
I played it for a little bit, and I had a couple of 1,000-hour playtime experts in my chat help me out, because I played it for a few hours on my own.
Yeah,
and I'm like, okay, this game has one of the things that, you're talking about QOL in certain games. Like, this game has one of the things that I kind of dislike in survival games, where you loot stuff and you pick up shit that you don't need for a long time, but you don't know that. You know, like you're picking up engines and oil and shit like that. You can't make any of that shit for a bit. Like, you're not going to be using none of that.
Yeah.
So I had them come on to be in chat, and so I could ask them okay, what I really need to know is what's important. I don't want to throw away anything that is rare that I'll need later on or something like that. But I just need to know what I need now, what I don't need, what I can toss, because your inventory consistently gets too full and you've got to toss shit out. And I'm just I don't want to toss anything that's valuable or whatever. So I had that. I had a little strategy sesh about should I is it more important if to build my own place, or can I just use an existing place to make my home base? You know, these kind of basic questions that I would have looked up. I was about to look up a beginner's guide to 7 Days to Die, and I was like, you know what? I know some people that love this game. So I'll do like a half stream and just get the basics. And I did, and I've been playing it ever since.
Really?
And I survived my first 7th day. Now, funny enough, I actually quit last night before my next 7th. I got like 2 hours to the next 7th, to the 14th day.
Yeah.
Because every 7 days in the game, you get like ultra zombies.
Yeah, horde.
That are like super fast and like, yeah, exactly.
Ultra
So you gotta bunker up or set traps, whatever you can do to survive, basically.
Yeah.
But it's starting. I'm starting to get it. I'm starting to get like, okay, I'm hitting the feeder bar now. I know what I want. I know what's important. I know what's for later. I know I can toss this. I can sell this. I can break this down. Blah 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 blah. So
yeah,
it was a lot at the beginning, but now, just like every survival game, you're gonna get a lot of leaves in your inventory. You can get more. Just throw those away.
Yeah. Ultimately, at the end of the day, you're gonna get a lot of everything, and you're gonna need a lot of everything.
It's like that fucking what is it? Like resin in Valheim. It's like everything gives you resin. You're gonna have millions of resin. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Just let it go, man.
Yeah. I jumped into 7 days 3 months. There was a big update for it, I think 3 months ago or 4 months ago, with Gassy and crew who have played a lot of it. But it was on a server with like sped up XP. And so it functioned a lot differently than I think your game is in terms of just like what tiers we were at.
But by the way, I forgot to mention that I'm playing straight up vanilla.
Yeah.
Nothing. No, I'm playing it as intended. I haven't changed any of the options.
As a new player, I 100% would say to do that because I played as a new player on a sped up server since they had so much time in it. They wanted to play on a sped up server. And it was like, hey guys, we're in day 3 and so-and-so's got a rocket launcher and a mech. And I'm just like, what the fuck is this? Like, why do you have this stuff? And it's like, oh, here's like 7,000 mobs that have aggroed you. Good luck. And it's like, why not just one zombie? One zombie's a little bit terrifying. Why do we need 7,000? It was a kind of a terrible jumping in point for a new player.
Well, that's what I like about like just playing the vanilla.
Yeah.
It's like the game is easy until it's not.
Yeah, I mean, you're chasing a rabbit, whereas my first thing was like, I'm running from 7,000 zombies. Like, I've got a lot of stuff chasing me. So
Yeah.
But they've been updating this game forever. Cole, you've done multiple playthroughs of it, right? Like you've spent some time.
The last 7 days to die playthrough for me was actual years ago.
Yeah,
it has undergone multiple giant patches since I have played last.
Now I have a question
all the time.
Yeah,
playthrough. To my understanding, there is no through.
Whenever I say playthrough, I mean play until I don't want to play it anymore.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, because I was hoping that I was missing something because that is the one major thing that this game has probably needed since its inception is in some sort of end goal. I know there are mods for it, I've been told, but like that's why I keep going back to Valheim, because Valheim had biome boss, biome boss, biome boss, and it kept going. Like this one doesn't have that.
Nope.
So I'm getting used to the game and getting like to figure out how I want to play it. And then I'm gonna look into mods and stuff if there is like such a thing as like quests like to an ending of sorts.
Did Valheim like reshape your thoughts on survival games? Because I know for a while you've always disliked them. Is that like what changed that?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it absolutely did. I it's not that I didn't like them. It's that I didn't play them because they looked so fucking boring to me.
Sure.
And then I think Katie and I played. We played Valheim together. And I found myself going, I want to play this on my own. Like, if she doesn't want to play it, I still want to play it.
Was that
so I started on my own game, and that was that.
The second follow-up I have is that because she kept putting a thing in the wrong place, and you really didn't like where that one box that she put in that one room that she built was in the wrong... Okay.
Nope. Because, and I'll tell you why, we worked well together.
Ah.
She stayed at home and built shit. I was questing.
Ah, so
And
okay, you had
that
roles.
was-
You had roles.
That's why we worked together, because I didn't fucking care about building and she loved it.
That's the way.
That's the one thing I'm like, I'm a good enough builder.
Yeah.
Like, if I need a sword, I will build the thing to exact like what requirements and nothing more.
That
Like
was,
my Valheim house is still like open air, no roof, no floor, no nothing. It's just like little stations with like a wall and a roof like slat over it with no like other walls, just because that's all you need.
Yeah. That's the way to do it in terms of co-ops that I've played. I've never played a survival game with Co, but I very much feel like Co would be the type of guy where if I place something in the wrong container or in the wrong, or build something in the incorrect place, I would hear about it pretty quickly.
Containers.
Containers. In fact, I'll figure out how to ban you from my server.
That's what I
you had no
that's
right
what
to
I
do
figured.
that.
That's what I figured.
Yeah.
No, we had to have separate containers. Like,
well, no, that
she
makes
was
sense.
Using my containers that were painstakingly fucking organized according to category of thing next to the thing that it was associated with, and I was finding like, why is there a gem here? Why is there a gem here? There's clearly treasure in that chest over there. That's where you put this. This is for ore.
Gotta have
metals.
a conversation about it. Yeah, you gotta have a conversation about it. You gotta label everything meticulously. You gotta know what you're doing before you do it. Ultimately, right?
It just, like games like that display to me like how important and how grateful I am for games with UIs or organizational systems with organized buttons. It's like organize this by blank 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 blank.
Oh,
like holy shit,
dude! Sorting.
This 7 Days to Die doesn't have that as much. It does have a little bit. Like one of the cool things as far as that goes is that you can just like press a button to take all of the stuff that matches the stuff in the box or vice versa, and you can just put that shit on top of it.
Yeah, so they've got
that's nice.
That's 10 years of QOL right there. That's what that is. Yeah.
If you can see, you look at the inventory there, and you see like the top of the inventory. It says inventory, and then it has a cardboard box with one arrow. That's the button you push. Like if this box has coal, stone, and grass, take it out of my inventory and put it in there.
Yeah. I think
the huge bonus is when the game has the ability to do that from outside the chests to all nearby chests. That's when we call that God OL. That's God QOL. That is when there's four major things. You ready for this? There's four major QOLs that every survival game needs.
Let's hear it.
You need to be able to sort your inventory.
With one button.
With one button. And bonus points for sorting by different types. Okay. You need to be able to do group distribution of loot outside of chests, what I was just talking about. If you don't have that, the third is actually what Zeke was talking about, where you are able to open a chest and put like items in. That's huge. And also be able to sort the chest, which goes in the one. And the last one is anytime you use a crafting bench, it automatically uses stored items around you. So if you have like a chest next to the crafting bench that has a bunch of items, that should show up in your building, or if you're building walls nearby, stuff like that. Yep. These are all in grounded. This is the way to do it.
Every crafting,
every survival game needs those.
Every forge, every workbench, everything should have a drawer to store it like that shit in, so you don't have to like take it out of your drawer to put it. Like that would be awesome. I don't know if I'm sure there's games that do that, but all of your crafting things should have the related like a box of that you can put that stuff in.
Makes sense.
Also, big points for letting you either put labels on your different chests or stack them, or at least give them names and stuff like that. When you look at them and you can see the different sorting, that stuff is big too.
Yeah. I would love
and then you have things like pinning items and favoriting items.
I would love in 2024 to do some sort of survival game server with us and friends of said show. I don't know what it would be though. What game that would be best for?
There is a new game coming out. I'm not sure if it would be good for it, but I played the demo of it, and it gave me a very Valheim-y kind of a feeling. And it's Enshrouded, I think is the name of it.
Ooh.
Enshrouded seems like a good survival, but I'm not sure how multiplayer works yet because I just played the demo.
Yeah.
Enshrouded is super cool. It's a more gamified version of Valheim.
Okay.
So you have a much better idea of where to go. The progression is more paced. It's an interesting, different take on Valheim's Loop.
And as
Very
far
cool.
as I know,
I
I'm
played the
going to
demo
make
as well.
sure. I think it comes out in January 24th of next year.
Really?
This
That
January.
soon?
The
Wow.
early access does. Early access.
Oh, that's early access. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
see how
yeah,
much
yeah.
content is there.
Well, I mean, for a survival game like early access, that's the game.
That's 1.0.
10 years for 7 Days to Die, still in early access.
Yeah.
Daisy.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the longest running early access titles to exist.
Star Citizen would like a word.
Yep. If it's survival, you just
Yeah.
ignore early access.
I guess I don't consider that early access in my weird.
It might actually come out
nomenclature.
next year, or at least a part of it.
What,
Should be
7 or
Star Citizen.
Star Citizen.
Spartan 42.
Oh, yeah. The single player stuff or whatever you're talking about might come out. Yeah.
Excited.
Yeah, should be cool. Should be cool. Co, I have to ask because I'm sure a lot of people are wondering. Do you have a person loose in your house that you need to go tie back up in a dungeon?
Yeah.
I have 3 of them.
Okay. Yeah, they're getting their laps in. I think you've got
They are.
an Olympic runner upstairs somewhere.
They are. I do. It's probably Kai, I'm guessing.
Ah, okay. All right. A runner.
He's a
indeed.
runner. He's a runner.
Well, let's do some shout outs. Also, a question for you two. Whoops, I almost just straight up closed OBS. That would have been terrible. A question for you two. Are we doing a show on Christmas Eve on the 24th? Or are we skipping that week? I'll be in town, and I'm sure
I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't think there's going to be a lot to talk about.
There might not be a lot to talk about.
We might have to do a Lethal Company next week.
On the 17th? Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be kind of
maybe we
On the
should do
24th,
like
you mean?
well, both weeks, I think is what Co's saying.
both weeks. Yeah, I'm saying there's really not much else happening for the rest of December. Things
Yeah.
are getting pretty quiet since we're ramping up for January and February of next year. So.
This could be the last show before our Game of the Year show. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
That's
But I mean, if we want to do games or something, we can talk, figure it out. Maybe get some Lethal Company in, bring a guest in, have some fun.
Yeah.
Bring in Jesse and ask him to talk about all the celebrities he knows for some Lethal Company. Be fun.
Oh,
Has he played?
by the way, I do need to inform the two of you. We're at war with Jesse's new podcast, by the way. He embarrassed me in front of his podcast, so I declared war on behalf of Drop Frames on the Weekenders. I think is whatever the name of his little shit show. I told him Dodge and Cox was an appropriate name, and Dodger and Jesse
It's
were not.
Dodger and Jesse, and they didn't call it Dodge and Cox?
No, they decided not to go with that. I'm still upset about that. I gave them that years ago.
That's a reason for war alone.
But yeah, we're at
That's
war.
almost that's kind of as viewers you should be insulted.
Yeah. So just so you're aware, yeah, we're at war with them.
After hearing that, I mean, I'm fine with it.
Fuck both of them. I don't know what we were talking
Jesse,
about. Sorry,
I don't think I could ever say that about Dodger.
That's
But
very
talking
strong.
about co-op games.
Yeah, him completely. Yes, for sure.
Being at war.
Dodger's a gift. She's amazing. Let's just focus all our hate on Jesse.
You know what's super funny? Like Dodger and I could not be more different people. However, we play a shitload of the same
Yeah, you
games.
guys play the same games for sure. A Dodger game is a Zeke game most often than not.
Apparently,
More
I
often
don't
than
know
not.
how that works out, but fuck, it happens all the Hey, Dodger played this like again. Yeah.
The exact same game. You go into Dodger stream and there's like an exclamation point warning, may have violence in the game. You go into Zeke's, he's like, look at us cut that dude's dick off.
It is
Instead of a
Oh,
warning,
it's
it's
great.
like, pay attention for the dick shooting.
It's very true. It's very true.
Keep your eyes open.
By the way, Zeke, I don't know if you played Talos Principle, but my chat voted for that community day for November, which I did this past week. Talos Principle 2 is pretty good. Pretty good game.
Yeah.
It is excellent.
Good
I
game.
played all the way through it, and it is fucking.
I did
I love it.
the first two things, islands. I don't know what you want to call them, but like the first two, first
islands.
16 puzzles. It's fun. It's good stuff. Good things. I only felt
Now,
stupid twice. For the record.
Are you enjoying the lore? Like, or are you not like
that was one thing where on stream I was like, it was like so.
Yeah, somebody told me the lore was
It's
lofty.
Highbrow, like dense,
very like it's very infinite jest.
Yeah,
like
100%.
I would say that it's a mix. It's a good mix. Like I'll see like a lore piece and I'll go, I'm going to skim this because that looks really boring. And I did that with some of them, and with like the personality, the ones with like, you know, some personality to them. I read all the way through those, enjoyed those.
Yeah.
And I really didn't feel like I missed a ton for like skimming the like highfalutin mindy philosophy shit. Like get the bullet points and you're fine with those. But the other shit is like the story of what is actually happening is good, is really fun.
Yeah, it was that part I was interested in. But the second when they're just like, you know, let's talk about what humanity really is.
I love that. Like those big ideas about like we know we are robots. We call ourselves human.
Yeah, they got into that. For me on stream, I was just like, I gotta go find a puzzle to solve, man. I don't want to be doing that shit.
No, absolutely. And that's no, I know. Like I would like save up the lore, go out, have a smoke, like get a snack, and I'd be like, okay, it's gonna be about 45 minutes of me reading lore,
Puzzles.
so I just gotta make sure I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, all right, back to the puzzles.
Yeah. Puzzles were fun. Definitely cool to see how many ways you could solve them. And again, I got stumped twice, and I only know that because I remember two very vivid, God, this guy is stupid commentary types in chat. And so,
yeah,
yeah,
inevitable.
That's where that came from. Anyways, let's do some shout outs and wrap the show. Zeke, start us off. What's going on?
Yo, what is up, everybody? Thank you guys for watching. My name is Ezekiel the Third. You can find me at / Ezekiel_III on Twitch, Twitter, X, and YouTube. Ezekiel the Third, all spelled out, on Instagram and TikTok. I broadcast every day at 10 a.m. except Mondays, so tomorrow I'm off. And I will be playing through those games, that list of games that I had. I'll be checking out a lot of
Wrap
those.
it up!
There it is. Thank you, Co. Thank you, JP, for being co-host every week. And that's all I got for you. Oh shit, that's right. Maybe Tuesday, I'm not sure, depending on delivery. We got Simpsons Hit and Run for the If Then Winners game choice.
Nice.
If not, if it doesn't get delivered this Tuesday, we'll have to bump it to next Tuesday. So just like maybe not sure yet. So thank you for watching. That's all I got.
You gotta make
That
sure
is awesome.
Beth knows about Max's wife, because like she talks about that game fucking nonstop, and I'm not kidding.
Really?
Like, she's like, you gotta play Simpsons Hit and Run, and I'm just like, Beth, no one, shut the fuck up. No one cares.
Well, I have, in case
like
the discs
15 years old.
In case the discs are like bad or don't work or whatever, I have a backup. Like it's on abandonware for whatever reason, and I don't know the legality of it, so I'm not going to stream it until I have the physical copies.
Okay.
But like I booted it up and played it a little bit, like very little, like 2 minutes, just to make sure it worked. But like, I'm curious to see because it looks fun, but so many people like this game is amazing.
She's about it, man. Make sure you know, or make sure she knows that you're playing it. Cool.
Oh, she will. Her and my lady are friends.
Okay, cool. Go. Shoutouts.
Yep. I'm going to be back tonight for Rogue Trader. You're going to see a lot of Rogue Trader over the next few days. We also got some sponsor stuff coming up. Going to be checking out the Warframe stuff, Ready or Not with these guys. We got things going on. Also, a couple little random things. Didn't get to talk about the OTK VGA, but I mean, it was basically exactly what you could think of it to be. it was an experience. It was just basically a lot of like dry humor and you know, it was it was pretty funny. It was pretty good. All about the awards. But yeah, just back-to-back awards and stuff. And then also there was another announcement there. I'm actually a co-owner of Mad Mushroom, the publishing company. That was announced over there too, which is kind of fun. So talk about that another time. But anyway, that's it for me. I will see you folks later. Tonight for more Rogue Trader, tomorrow for Rogue Trader, most of the week for Rogue Trader, and a lot more Rogue Trader this week, as that's what we're gonna be playing this month. And that's going to be it. So I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching. And if I don't see you next week, hopefully we'll do like a games or something. Maybe we're Lethal Company or, figure something out.
Yeah. We'll figure
Totally
something
forgot
out.
to mention, no Blade Runner after for me today because the GM is sick or has a cold or something. So
Cool. Okay. Yeah, Co, congrats on joining OTK. I'm really happy for you. I can't believe you joined OTK like that. It's fantastic. Fantastic news.
They really needed someone to push it in a better direction, and I think you're the man for the job.
Yeah, you're going to help the brand over there at OTK.
I don't.
Are you the king now?
Yeah. Are you the one true king at OTK?
Yeah.
I am the one true co-owner of Mad Mushroom, a publishing company. Well, actually,
yes, you're Hornus
of many. So thank you so much. No. I funny enough, it's not. I did not in any way join OTK. It's specifically with the publishing company, Mad Mushroom. Yes.
That OTK owns.
They are part owners as well, actually.
So
there's actually a lot. There's a lot of back end stuff. Yeah.
Are they going to rename it to KOTK?
Oh, could be.
That's my competing agency that I'm spinning up, actually.
Good do. No, I had fun with that.
Real talk. Yes, I'm actually very excited. I've been doing a lot of, I'm executive producer on the indie game. I'm investing in indie games. This is another real cool step forward in being able to like actually bring games from, in many cases, dreams into players' hands. So I'm actually really, really excited for it. And the people I've talked with there have been super chill. There's a lot of folks working at Mad Mushroom that are not in the forefront. They're not streamers. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of like really talented, cool people that are working there and making it all reality. And I'm very excited to get started.
Cool.
It's gonna be cool.
Maybe we'll talk to some of them in 2024. It'll be fun. That's it. We're done. Thanks for watching. We'll probably do some games or some next week. I'll have my people reach out to your people in Discord.
That's good.
And we'll figure something out. Also, I'll see the both of you Wednesday.
Discord. Hopefully, if you haven't downloaded the phone update. So yeah.
Why not? What's wrong with the phone update?
It's garbage. It's absolute garbage. They tried to like make changes on the phone Discord, and it's like it's buggy and it's a mess, and like your notifications don't send you to the right place, and like sometimes the rooms won't change properly. Like, don't update Discord on your phone if you haven't. It's. I have no clue how this update made it past their QA, if they're doing QA anymore. It's that bad.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Anyway.
Anyways, we'll see you guys Wednesday. We'll be playing some like what's Ready or Not is what we're doing, sponsored with the three of us Wednesday, and then next Sunday we'll put together a Lethal Company crew or something and go from there. So appreciate you all. Have a great rest of your week if we don't see you next week, and we're out of here. Bye-bye.